For Nolan Xavier Wells, 18 years old, gone too soon. Mississippi, y'all got some explaining to do. Mississippi, need to release that report. Low down, dirty ass Mississippi. What you hiding? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? Talk. So I pray the family get real answers. And no, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today. Mississippi, the Most High gonna really deal with you. July 4th lights, boat ride with the crew. Young King Nolan chasing dreams, Ocean Springs through and through. Horn Island called his name, he relaxing in the blue. 2 days later found on the sand. What happened to you? Independent autopsy dropped, but it's undetermined. Red mark on the back of the head, neck structures missing. Absurd. State sitting quiet, toxicology on the shelf. Family screaming for truth, but y'all protecting yourself. Nolan was a star athlete with a future bright. Now his mama crying every single night. Boating trip turned nightmare. Questions in the air. Who was on that island? Why the silence there? Mississippi, need to release that report. Low down, dirty ass Mississippi. What you hide? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? Talk. I pray the family get real answers. And no, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today. Mississippi, the Most High gonna really deal with you. Grand jury waiting, but the people still fighting. No severe trauma, they say, but the story don't add up clean. Waves whispering secrets, covering up the scheme. Young black man gone, another one in the South. History repeating, time to open your mouth. What you hiding in them files? Why the delay? Transparency dying, why the family pray? Nolan's light was shining, future snatched away. Now the whole world watching what Mississippi say. We marching, we posting, we demanding justice loud for every mother losing sons behind that murky cloud.
I pray the family get real answers.
No more games, no more lies.
No more games, no more lies.
Nolan deserved better, the truth never dies. From the island to the courtroom, we standing tall. Mississippi,
Your reckoning,
gon' come.
one and all.
Finding all. Mississippi, need to release that report. Release it now, release it now, release it now. Need to release that report. Mississippi, what you hiding? Why you not talking? Why the hell you not saying a damn thing? I pray the family get real answers. No, we the people won't go away. Never, hell no, not today, not today. Mississippi, Most High gonna really deal with you. For Nolan Wells, we won't go away. Release the report. Justice now.
All right. Hello, Grand Rising, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your Sunday morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Now let's see who's in here. All right, Leon, Terry Hinton, Earth Angel is here. All right, let's get into it. 504 Nola, Chris B, DJ Big Six, AWAX is here. Buckhurst DC's Nefarious Self. All right, let's get it popping. Okay. Angie, I see you, beloved. Terry Hinton, I already said you. That Crazy Beach Aries, Miss Trees, Christopher, Cherokee City Dale, Mel is here, Desmond, Aqua Girl Rising. Okay, Deronda, Nessa G, Truth Brown, Pretty Wings, G from the land. All right, so let's get ready to get black into it. Everybody hit that like button, okay? I see you, Carl Trave. Everybody hit that like button. Now, before we get started, hey, Diane, Battle Axe is here. Okay, so before we get started, y'all know how it goes. Hey, Ebony, Alice, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. I see you, Christopher, beloved. And here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Craft. Okay, and let's get ready to get into it. Everybody hit that like button. Listen, you all, let me tell y'all something. It is so sad, okay, just so you all know, it is absolutely so sad that people can be so hateful and so racist to a grieving mother. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. I mean, the hate for Black folk is real. Even just because we try to get justice, they want to flip the script and act as though we're the ones being racist when actually the racism is always being perpetuated upon us. Now let's get into it because there's an all-out smear campaign on Nolan's mother. Okay, and it is so ridiculous. But also, let me just tell y'all something, honey. I listened to that part 5 interview where Brandon Tatum's nefarious self, he is such a raccoon, okay? Anyway, guess what? Didn't we say that the more they talk, the more they tell? Didn't we say that they're exposing themselves? Okay, I want y'all to pay attention, honey, because I picked up on something that Tracestin said last night, and he absolutely confirmed, as far as I'm concerned, that Nolan got on that darn boat. And we're going to get into it, okay? We are going to get into it. But first, let's talk about what they're doing to his mother. It is just all so sad. Y'all, want you all to pay attention, because these devils are absolutely busy. They are going to, what they're doing is, hold on, let me pull up my receipt. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so here's what the devils are doing, honey. This is MAGA minions, okay? This is MAGA minions. So what they're doing is this. They're posting fake reviews for his mother. They're going to the website for this woman's job. Now, don't forget that she's a healthcare practitioner, okay? And so they're going to the website for her job and posting fake reviews. This is what the devils are out here doing. Now, all this woman did, her only crime, as I have continued to say, is only wanting to have answers to what actually happened to her son. And it is also disgusting and sick and clearly nefarious that these are the antics that these devils will go to. I want you all to pay attention and notice how these fake friends who keep saying both of them lying, Warren Hudson is a liar, Tracestin Shepherd is a damn liar, and I want them to try to come for me for defamation. I'm telling y'all, they are some damn liars, okay? Period. It's not alleged. They're liars. They are liars, okay? Period. Now, here's the thing. Both of them sitting there saying that they were Nolan's best friend. How many best friends does one person have? Because Javon first said he was the best friend. Then Warren comes out and says he's the best friend. And now Tracestin too is the best friend. So everybody loved Nolan so darn much. But then why is Nolan dead? Huh? That's what I want to know. Why is he dead? Okay, and let me tell you all something. Oh, honey, this is so crazy. I am so furious. Y'all don't even know. So listen to this. So are people really submitting fake reviews in an attempt to damage Kristen Wansley's credibility as a medical provider? If those reviews are fraudulent, it's not just cruel, it's unfairly targeting a grieving mother who has been publicly seeking answers about what happened to her son. No parent should have to endure the loss of a child and then face personal attacks for only demanding the truth. Seeking answers and accountability should never result in harassment or attempts to harm someone's livelihood. I hope she finds out who did those reviews and sues them, okay? Because there's proof that they're lying, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. Now, if anyone has legitimate concerns about a professional, there are appropriate channels to address them. But false or coordinated attacks help no one and only create more pain. Okay? Not one bad review, honey. Not one. They're doing all that they can do. That's what the devils are doing. Let me pull up this receipt so you all can see it for yourselves. This is absolutely egregious. Absolutely. They hate Black people, honey. These MAGA minions hate Black people, and that's a darn fact. Okay? Hold on. Crispy says, Queen, have you heard the enhanced audio of the TMZ? Beloved, yes, I broke the story, okay? Now, if one more person asks me that, I'm going to scream. Chris B, beloved, go watch the live from yesterday morning. On the thumbnail, it says, no, wake the F up. That's the video where I played the enhanced audio. I was the first one to play it. Okay, I broke the story. Okay, so yes, we already got that straight down. Now, with that up and said, look at this. I'm going to tell you what it says. It says, would not recommend her, from someone named BBD. And then another person says, I wouldn't trust her to care for anyone. I don't hate anyone that much to recommend her. Her oath is to do no harm. Isn't this something? Another person says, unfortunately, I'm looking for another medical provider. I don't feel Christine has my best interest at heart. I should be treated the same as her patients that share her skin color. Wow. So they're trying to call this woman racist. This is what racist MAGA minions are doing. They are trying to call her racist. Are we serious? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Yeah, it absolutely is. Sadly, this is where it is. Okay. This is what these people are doing. But hold on, because there's proof that these are fake reviews. There's proof that they're fake reviews. Okay. Because first of all, these reviews have recently been posted just within the past few days or weeks. And this woman says, I went and looked up the reviews to see the dates in real time. She's the nurse practitioner at my primary's office. How can there be reviews from a week ago, a few days ago, when she hasn't even been at work since this happened? Straight lies. She's highly respected. People are absolutely despicable. And this is from a white woman named Teresa Dawn. Shout out to the good white folk who stand on business and tell the truth and hold their others to account. And don't sit there and try to paint fictitious narratives and cover up the BS. Okay, I'm so glad that there's some good white folk. At the end of the day, do y'all hear this? This is what MAGA minions are out here doing, trying to make this lady lose her darn job. And all she did was ask questions about what happened to her son. Like, this is heartbreaking. Can you imagine how this woman feels? Can you all imagine? I want you all to put yourself in her shoes for just a moment and think about your son that you love so much. Right? And they go off on a trip and they're about to do big things because Monday when they come back, they're going to start football camp and they're trying to get their life in order and all of this. They have so much ahead of them. And you have worked so hard to raise them right and give them a nice life. You know what I'm saying? And then someone snatches them away from you. And then not only that, simply because you're trying to get justice for your child who you'll never see again. And these devils, these low-down demons, want to sit there and cause more grief by attacking you and launching a full-on smear campaign. This is absolutely egregious. I just can't. Earth Angel says, Queen on fire. They murdered him on that boat. Yes, I absolutely believe it, beloved. I absolutely believe it. I absolutely believe it. And thank you for your insight to the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. And you know what else I think, you all? I'm going to tell you all something else I think. Remember the dream I told you all that I had? Remember I told you all that Nolan was walking to the boat and they were driving away from him and they were laughing and they had smirks and smiles and acting like it's all just fun and games. Let me tell y'all something. That actually happened. Okay. I guarantee you that actually happened. They were doing that to him before he got on that damn boat. I promise you, that's what happened. They were doing that to him before he got on that damn boat. Okay. That's one of the things. And I want you all to pay attention to something, because remember when Warren said that Nolan was cradling the girl, Katie, and he was carrying her through the water. Remember that? Remember that? Yeah, somebody didn't like that. And who didn't like it is, I think, Warren. I think he's the one that didn't like it. Okay, but hold on, because there is absolutely Tracestin, he has effed up. Tracestin effed up and let us all know that Nolan got on that darn boat. Now, mind you, we already have the enhanced audio, so we already know he was on the boat. But this is going to further confirm it. Okay, we're going to get into it. But first, let's talk about Ben Crump, because Ben Crump responded to the nefarious governor Tatum, who's been talking all this trash and trying to say that Ben Crump's a liar and been lying on Mississippi. Why does anyone need to lie on Mississippi? Lie on Mississippi for what? Lie on Mississippi for what? Now, someone suggested that for these negative reviews that they've given Mrs. Christine Wansley, that we should all go to the site and give positive reviews. Oh, this is all so crazy. But why do we even have to go through all of this? Why does she even have to go through all of this? This is absolutely egregious. Hold on. Let me pull up this next receipt. Because like I said, Ben Crump responded. I'm going to mute this because they're playing music. And I'm going to share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. It's a darn shame. These people are something else. Where's the lie? It says, statement from attorney Ben Crump. The Mississippi governor's office, the Mississippi governor's attempted attacks on me ring hollow in the face of the actual evidence. When Nancy Grace asked United Cajun Navy President Todd Terrell on her July 20th episode of Crime Stories whether Nolan Wells was found face down and fully clothed on the beach, he said, yes, that is the record. This has never been about casting aspirations or attacking anyone. Our sole purpose is to uncover the truth on behalf of our clients, the family of Nolan Wells, and to determine what happened to their son while he was on Horn Island, July the 4th. I have always stood for the truth, no matter who it implicates or exonerates. I stand for justice, no matter who it convicts or acquits. We are demanding transparency so that everyone can see the facts for themselves and have confidence that this investigation follows the evidence wherever it leads. Okay? You tell them, Ben Crump. All right, please pay attention. Now, this man's sitting up here lying. Hold on, let me see if there's anything else. This man's sitting up here straight lying on Ben Crump. And now they're lying on Nolan's mom.
Todd Terrell joining us from the United Cajun Navy, called in to participate in the water search for this young star athlete, Nolan Wells. Tonight, mystery swirling around his death. How is it that a group of his friends go out on a boat? They go to a remote Horn Island. There is nobody there. It's uninhabited. How does he end up dead on the shore and everybody else makes it back? As I recall, Todd Terrell, Nolan was face down, still fully clothed on the beach. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. He was face down, which would have meant that he drowned. Now, when we say he was found fully clothed on the beach, it was in the same vicinity of where he possibly drowned.
The fact, Christine, that the United Cajun Navy are so forthcoming, the fact that they told us, we haven't heard from any of their local officials, that Nolan was found face down, fully clothed. Well, that's significant to us because the last time we saw him on the videos, he was without a shirt. So at what point did he put on a shirt? Somebody saw something. Somebody knows something. There were almost 300, 400 people, somebody knows something.
Okay? Absolutely, somebody knows something. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, speaking of the Cajun Navy, they got sued. Okay, let's talk about that. Hold on, beloveds. Hold on just a second. So let's talk about this lawsuit. Let's talk about this lawsuit because guess who got sued? Low down lion Brian Trasher and Todd Terrell. Todd Terrell is the founder of the Cajun Navy. That's the one who actually said that Nolan was fully clothed. Brian Trasher is the one I believe posted. Yeah, he's the one that posted telling Ben Crump to not misrepresent their words. Okay. So let's get into it because here's what the report says. Cajun Navy 2016 group sues United Cajun Navy for alleged defamation. Now, this came out 2 days ago. 2 days ago, one Cajun Navy group is suing another. In a news release Friday from Cajun Navy 2016, they said they had filed a defamation suit seeking to protect its reputation and volunteers who served under its name. Now, I wonder why this is. Could it be because they're lying on Ben Crump and think that Ben Crump may sue them for defamation because they're clearly lying? Now, the lawsuit filed in the 19th Judicial District Court in Baton Rouge, named United Cajun Navy, its president Todd Terrell and its vice president Brian Trasher, all as defendants. Now, it alleges a multi-year campaign of false and defamatory statements. This is what John Bridgers, the CEO and founder of Cajun Navy 2016, says. Okay, so now we know that they have a history of lying on people, apparently, because that's what defamation is, when you're lying on someone, okay, slandering someone. Now, the lawsuit filed in the Oh, I'm sorry, I read that. Now, when the floodwaters rise, families don't have time to sort through competing claims on social media. They need to know who is actually showing up. Our reputation is one of the most important tools we have when lives are on the line. Now, this is what John Bridgers, the CEO of the Cajun Navy 2016, says. He goes on to say, we've ignored this for years because helping people has always been more important than arguing online. But there comes a point when staying quiet actually hurts the people we're trying to help. Now, the lawsuit alleges the defendants repeatedly published false and misleading statements through social media and other public channels, questioning the organization's legitimacy and integrity and disaster response efforts. He goes on to say, Bridgers, that is, he says, we didn't choose this path lightly. For years, we've stayed focused on serving others. Unfortunately, the false statements have continued, and protecting our reputation has become necessary to protect our mission. Now, the lawsuit seeks damages and injunctive and declaratory relief to prevent further defamatory conduct. Okay, so they've been out here lying, defaming, allegedly, the other Cajun Navy. And now to the point that they're being sued. I find that interesting. So with that all being said, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. I mean, how low can you go? So anyway, with that all being said, now let's talk about this really quick. Oh, no. Let's go to this post from Rage Batum Tatum, as Sam loves to call it. He posted this on social media. He should feel real silly right about now because it's already been debunked. It's already been proved that Ben Crump didn't lie. Okay, didn't tell one lie, let alone two. Wow, this is Brandon Tatum. Hold on. So this is what Cajun Navy posted. First of all, at Attorney Crump, we didn't say Nolan was fully clothed when found. He was wearing only swim trunks. Please don't misrepresent our words. To which Brandon Rage Batum Tatum replies, wow. United Cajun Navy publicly called out Ben Crump, accusing him of misrepresenting their words about Nolan's condition when found. Sit down somewhere. Okay? Sit down somewhere. You know what I would really like to ask Officer Rage Batum Tatum? You know what I would really like to have the pleasure of asking him.
Go to watch this.
Need to know, do you ever get tired of being a bitch ass nigga? Ass nigga. A pussy ass nigga. Pussy ass nigga. Do you get tired? Do you get tired? Do you get tired? Do you get tired? You's a lame ass nigga. Weak ass nigga. A weak ass nigga. Weak ass nigga. Do you get tired? Do you get tired? Do you get tired? Do you get tired?
Oh my God. Thank you for that video, boy. I need that video.
Darn shame. I need it too. Okay, that's what I would like to ask him. Does he ever get tired of that? Hating on your own people? I mean, I'm sorry that you're black and you don't want to be. Okay, Rolanda, beloved, thank you for your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. This is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, with that all being said, let's continue. Now, another thing that happened during that interview that Rage Batum Tatum did with Tracestin, he showed a text message trying to prove, trying to paint Mrs. Wansley as a liar, saying that the judge reached out to her and wanted to, try to help her and all of that. Let me just show you what he showed on the screen. It's a text message, okay? So I took the liberty of screenshotting it so you all could see it. Here it is right here. This is dated July the 7th. Now, mind you, July the 7th is the day that they all lawyered up and shut down social media. Christine, this is Ashley Cole. If or when you ever want to talk to me, this is my number. Let me tell you something. That doesn't prove a damn thing because we already know that you can fake a text message. We already know that you can create false text messages. That doesn't mean anything. I don't believe that woman is lying for 1 minute. Why would she be lying when she's searching for justice? Okay. V. Maltsby says, at this point, Tatum Tots is doing more than tap dancing. So much bending, I know his back and knees hurt. Okay. Exactly, beloveds. I have to absolutely agree. Thank you for your insight to the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay. And let me tell you all something else too that I figured out. You know, they lied. I told you all already that they lied when they made that call for the tow, right? That they never got. Mind you, they were lying. There was never anything wrong with the bilge pump. And how do we know that? It's because if there was something wrong with the bilge pump, they would absolutely have been sinking. But how do we know they weren't sinking? I'm so glad you asked. We know they were never sinking because, in fact, they took the boat to several different places, back and forth. We saw the timeline. We know the GPS data. You couldn't have been doing all of that with a broken bilge pump. Okay, you just couldn't have been doing it without the risk of sinking, and who in their right mind is going to risk it? Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. When they called the grandfather of Wyatt, who owns the boat, Jerry Atkinger, whatever his name is, I believe that's his name. When they called him, and I'm going to say allegedly because this is what I believe, it's a speculation. But here's the thing. I believe that when they called him to tell them what happened with Nolan. And then he told them to call the C tow company and act like something's wrong with the bilge pump so you can establish an alibi. You understand what I'm saying? Because he knew that when they find Nolan's body, they're going to be able to figure out the time of death and all of that. And then people know that Nolan was with them and everything. So he likely told them that to do that to establish an alibi. And that also would explain, in my opinion, why the person who was on the phone, because we don't even know who that person was that made the call. They have not and will not release that person's name. But the person that was on the phone that made the call, let me tell you something. That person clearly was acting so irritated and agitated because, for one, and didn't have any urgency in their voice because they did not really need a tow. Because there was really nothing wrong with that darn bilge pump or the boat, period. The next thing is, we noticed that he was muting the phone when we listened to that audio. Yeah, he started muting the phone because he realized the dispatcher could hear what was being said in the background when they were saying, no, wake the F up. Check his chest. Is he dead? Wyatt, Warren. We heard those two names called, right? We heard those two names called, so we know that Wyatt and Warren were on that boat for a fact. Now, that's important. That's important because guess what? Like I told you, Tracestin has let the cat out of the bag, honey. Tracestin has let us know that Nolan got on that darn boat. He has let us know that Nolan got on that boat. Let them keep talking because they keep telling on themselves, and I'm here for it. Okay, I'm absolutely here for it. Now, let me ask you all this. Put a 1 in the chat because I don't remember if I showed you all this or not. Put a 1 in the chat, beloveds. If I showed you all the video of Rage Batum Tatum talking with Chris Cuomo. Y'all know I show so many receipts, sometimes I forget. Okay, yes, Renee, I do believe there should be cameras because it used to be federally owned land. I believe it still is. Okay. Okay, so I did show you all that. Okay, great. Okay, so I don't have to go back to that. Now hold on. Queen, remember the 911 caller saying, pull the plug? They were trying to sink the boat with Nolan's body on it. No, they weren't trying to sink the boat, honey. That's what they were not trying to. If they sink the boat, what are they going to do? How are they going to leave? They definitely were not trying to sink the boat. If they were trying to sink the boat, how would they get out of there, beloved? At the end of the day, there's a drop off that I believe is like 30 feet at Horn Island. So I definitely don't believe that. And another thing that I told you I was interesting is that they said they didn't need the Coast Guard. If you're in a boat that's sinking and water is all the way up to the darn battery, why wouldn't you need the Coast Guard? Somebody needs to come and help you. Okay? Make it all make sense. This is how you know that was an alibi. This is all an alibi and nothing but lies and BS. Hold on. Hold on. Some of y'all are saying twos. I'm trying to figure out, did I show y'all the video or not? Well, anyway, the video is basically about him saying that race doesn't appear to be a factor. Okay, that's what Tatum is basically saying. Race appears to be no factor to Nolan Wells' death. I probably did show you all this before because it's like 2 days old. Okay, so, and I usually show you all stuff when it first comes out. With that all being said, I'm going to go to some clips, and then we're going to get to what Tracestin said. Okay, we're going to get to what Tracestin said, and just remember, y'all heard it here first. Okay, just remember you heard it here first, because a lot of people watched that video yesterday, and I bet nobody caught this. At least nobody's reported on it yet, because I already did a search to see. Okay, so hold on for just a second. Let me pull this up. Here we go.
His friends. And because of you, Judge Ashley Cole, we believe that Warren Hudson is even more guiltier. Because of you. No motherfucking reason, but because of you. No one should ever even known that you're his stepmom. You should have moved the fuck out of that house the minute you knew that he was in trouble. But instead, you went 10 toes down. He's innocent. I know he's innocent, and so are his friends. People fucking lie when they do stupid shit. People lie when they do drugs, okay? And God forbid they did something to fucking Nolan. And they had to lie about it, and you fucking know. Now you're gonna be used against your own fucking son, you idiot, and you know that. But you're a sitting judge with some ethics. You were also involved in other ethics, weren't you, Miss Judge Ashley Cole? Aubrey Wyatt's mom, remember her? That 13-year-old little girl who took her life because of relentless fucking bullying in school and no one did anything about it? Well, you did something about it. You made sure that those bullies' cases were protected forever. Oh, another bully protected forever. But mom was threatened, grieving mom was threatened to go in contempt of court. So, Miss Judge Ashley Cole, how does it feel to be the reason why so many of us believe that your son's even more guiltier? I hope it fucking stings.
So y'all, now the governor of Mississippi is mad. He's talking about he want Al Sharpton and Ben Crump out of his state. Talking about he gonna kick them out if they don't stop talking about Nolan Wells. See, I'm gonna tell you what it is. He wants us to be quiet. He wants them to be quiet. He wants them off the case so that they can go ahead and rule it as a drowning, which is what they want. So they can go ahead and tell Nolan's parents to get on out of there and leave them alone. But no, it's not going to happen. We're going to keep his name alive. And we're going to keep on talking about what we see as inconsistencies in this boy's story, because we all know Warren done got on this internet and lied. But it's so funny because that's what y'all want us to do. Like, whenever we get to speaking facts and, you know, exposing y'all, now you want to make us be quiet because you don't want it to get out. Warren is guilty. They unalived Nolan. As a matter of fact, you can hear the audio that's on that boat. They did something to Nolan.
So you know what I have determined, from this second autopsy? You know what I've determined is that y'all did something to him. We don't have to determine what exactly happened to him, but we now know that you guys did something to him. You guys are saying, but it's undetermined. Let me tell you, because they found blunt trauma to the back of the head, that already let me know that y'all did something to him. What, he did it to himself after the altercation? Got so angry and hit himself in the back of the head? In the back of the head? In the back of the head? And it's just so crazy that also neck structures are missing. Am I reading that part right? Body parts are missing. Yeah, fuck you guys. You guys are gonna go to jail. We got Nancy Grace out on TV talking about y'all. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for y'all. Once you see Nancy Grace, you're going to jail. And this is the thing about the second autopsy, because it told a lot. Now we know something was done to him. We know something was done to him. If you guys don't see that yet, you're fucking slow. It's sounding very similar to Trey Reed breaking his own legs and putting himself in a fucking tree. Come on, bro. It's like, why do you guys think that we would be okay with you guys keeping the neck structures? Why do you think that would be just slid underneath the rug somewhere? Why do you think that was going to happen? Unless they were so desperate of protecting something. What are you trying to protect? It's almost like the state of Mississippi did something to Nolan. I thought it was the teenagers. Because if it was the teenagers, these lengths are crazy. These lengths, you got an examiner holding this type of information, right? And that makes me point at the stepmom judge. What kind of strings are you pulling? Really, what are you pulling? Because like I said, we know y'all did something to Nolan. So you're telling me that he had blunt trauma to the back of the head. How did he get up in the water then? How did he get in the water and be unseen for a whole day and a half, almost 2? Where his father was looking for him and he could not find him. And then he just miraculously found in a convenient area where his father had already looked. Multiple times at that. With blunt trauma to the back of the head? This is why I'm like, bro, we're not buying it. We know something. We know 100% you did something to Nolan. This autopsy told a lot. For a lot of people to say that it's not telling shit, it's telling a lot. For all the racist people that's like, you owe these children a fucking apology. No, the fuck we don't. No, the fuck we don't. It's just undetermined what happened to him. We'll take something over exactly. We might not know exactly what the fuck you did to him, but we know you did something to him. Okay? And that's enough for us. So in the second autopsy, they said there's blunt trauma to the back of the head. Why did the first autopsy leave that out? Why did they do that? This is some of the reasons why we have a second autopsy, is to prove that the first autopsy is accurate, and it doesn't seem so, right? Because they did not even mention the fact that he had blunt trauma to the back of the head, right? They said it was an accident and it was a drowning, right? They said nothing about blunt force to the back of the head. And please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember them mentioning blunt trauma to the back of the head in the first autopsy. So why the fuck did they leave that out? Is it
First of all, hold on. First of all, they didn't release the first autopsy, so I don't really know what he's talking about. Maybe he just suspects that because the sheriff said there was no evidence of foul play or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, they haven't even released the first autopsy, so we don't know what they said in it, unfortunately. And no one will until they send it to the grand jury. Now let's go to what Plies had to say about this whole thing. I'm trying to fast forward past him.
House the minute you knew.
Damn it. Hold on.
I'm gonna leave you guys with that.
Hey, this real quick, man. I know a lot of y'all been following this whole Nolan Wells thing way longer and more in depth than me. I ain't took the time to dive in it, but at some point I am and give y'all my honest opinion on it. But I was just on the plane and I seen like 2 clips. I guess it just was intended for me to see it. But it was one video they showed. They were just panning, I guess, Horn Island, showing y'all the boats and the people and shit who was at Horn Island that day. And I say, shit, you see all the flags and shit on all the boats. I say, shit, man, this is a motherfucking rally. This is like a motherfucking rally to me. Shit, I don't know what it looked like to y'all. I said, man, this is like a motherfucking rally. And I already know what some people gonna say. Oh, them just people who love their country and with the American flag. Listen, I love my motherfucking country too. But it's just like I tell people about that motherfucking that American flag today means something totally different to me Then it motherfucking meant when I was in motherfucking elementary. When I was in elementary, they used to make us stand up, put our hand over our heart, and sing the motherfucking Pledge of Allegiance. What they told me that motherfucking flag stood for back then, and how I feel when I see that motherfucking American flag today, it's two different motherfucking things. It's like when I just see the motherfucking Confederate flag hanging off the back of that motherfucking pickup truck. It told me all I needed to motherfucking know about that motherfucking pickup truck. I know that. To me, it did. And then I went a step further. I said, man, let me look at some of the goddamn, let me screenshot some of these motherfucking flags. Let me see what kind of motherfucking flags even hanging in there. Look at this motherfucking flag right here. Sure ain't no motherfucking way. That motherfucking skull. I don't know what that even means. That motherfucking skull head blank. Ah, shit. And then the motherfucking TMZ, I see the 911 call they put out. I listened to the motherfucking 911 call. This fucked me up. Where that motherfucker at?
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, what?
Yeah, what? That motherfucking lady said, can you hear me? And the motherfucker, yeah, what? Shit. Well, I know what motherfucking nice sound like, and I know what motherfucking not nice sound like too. And then on the same motherfucking call, he said he's sinking, the motherfucking boat sinking. She said, sir, you need us to get the National Coast Guard out there. No, don't send no guard. Huh? Bitch, and you sinking? Bitch, if I'm sinking, send any guard. Bitch, send a security guard. Bitch, any guard. No motherfucking way you sinking. She asked you, do you want the motherfucking her to send the National Coast Guard? You say, no, don't send. Man, ain't no motherfucking way.
Plus, it's hilarious to me. So I want you all to pay attention, though. He's absolutely right. He said if the boat was sinking, why wouldn't you want the Coast Guard? I told you all that yesterday and the day before. So the bottom line is this. There was never anything wrong with that darn boat. It was just all lies and BS. If the bilge pump was damaged, they would not have been able to make all those different trips that day. And that's just a fact. Okay, so, but here's the thing. Robert Johnson says both autopsies said no contusions and no bruising. Just because something happened doesn't mean he was unalived. Well, he was unalived because he's deceased, and that's what unalive means. It means you're dead. So whether he died by drowning or nefariousness, at the end of the day, he is unalived, beloved. But also, just to your point, the first autopsy, why are you talking about both? Because both autopsies have not been released. I don't know why anyone keeps saying that. Okay, that first autopsy has not been released. So it didn't tell you anything about contusions or bruising. That's what they didn't tell you. Okay, the only autopsy report that we have any information on is the one that Ben Crump got done. Okay, now it looks like you're trying to paint narratives, but clearly that's not going to fly. All right, so with that all been said, let's talk about that flag that Plies mentioned. Okay, let's talk about that flag. Here's what it stands for. It's actually a pirate flag. I knew it looked familiar, but it's a black flag with a white skull, traditionally known as the Jolly Roger. It's the historic pirate flag used to scare target ships into surrendering. It meant that death is near. Isn't that ironic? Okay, isn't that ironic? It meant that death is near. Those specific meanings varied by design. Well, that's the design they had right there. Okay, the warning, history and purpose, the warning. Pirates raised the black flag right before an attack to give the other ship a chance to surrender safely. No mercy option. If the target ship tried to fight back, pirates often switched to a red flag, meaning no one would be spared. Okay, so clearly a pirate flag. I guess they were letting somebody know that death was near. Who knows? Okay, all crazy. All crazy. So now with that all been said, let's get into, hold on, let's go to this reporter who said that she personally called the DA herself. Now you all remember that lovely black young lady, the reporter who took the liberty of confronting Sheriff Ledbetter, and he seemed like he was so annoyed, okay, because clearly I don't think he likes people who look like me. Okay, he looked like he was so annoyed that she dared to speak to him. But she also called the DA, and here's what they told her.
Hey everyone, it's Chantel Davis, and some of you may know that I've been closely following the Nolan Wells death investigation. So just in case you didn't know, the district attorney in Jackson County released a video yesterday on her social media platform, pretty much saying that she will not be releasing any evidence or details regarding the case until it is presented to a grand jury. She also instructed other agencies involved in the investigation to not also speak publicly about this case. Now, there were a lot of mixed emotions once this video was released. You had some people, praising the district attorney for making this post, saying and asking people to just be patient as this moves through the legal process. But then you had others saying, they still want answers. There's still a lot of unanswered questions concerning Nolan's death. And the primary question is what happened to Nolan, especially the fact that we still don't know what that original autopsy report says at this time. So what I did was I did contact the district attorney's office to try to see if the autopsy report would even be sealed before going to the grand jury. And then I also contacted a legal analyst just to understand her move a little bit more. He tells me that the move that the district attorney made is not uncommon. He says that sometimes district attorneys will seal certain evidence ahead of a grand jury just to protect paneling the grand jury. He also said that just because it's going to a grand jury, it does not mean a suspect or person of interest is being looked at. He says it doesn't mean that they're not being looked at. It just means that this case will be presented before a grand jury. I'll have more from this legal analyst a little later during our broadcast. Make sure you catch up to learn those details on WDSU at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock this evening.
All right. Now, with that all being said, let's listen to some clips from this interview that Officer Tatum did. Okay, let's listen to some of the clips because, like I said, Tracestin slipped up and told us what we needed to know. Okay, that's exactly what he did. And I didn't like the fact that he was sitting there lying on Nolan's mom because he was absolutely lying, and so was Warren, period. And here's the thing. If they were such good friends with Nolan and best friends with him, do you really think that they would be sitting there going in on his mom, disparaging the mother? Okay, and then basically said that Nolan wouldn't like this. This is what he said. He literally said that Nolan was probably rolling over in his grave because his mother and father want justice. He would be rolling over in his grave. This is all crazy. Let me pull up this interview. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I took the liberty of only getting like 3 clips. Okay, I don't want to watch that whole thing again. It was already enough torture listening to Tatum speak.
Got on TV, as everybody has seen, and said that she didn't know me. And man, that can't be farther from the truth. Me and Nolan, I met Nolan in 9th grade in our 2nd block class. It was math. He was one of the first guys I made friends with. I never wanted to take away how close somebody else was with Nolan, but Nolan was my best friend. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him. I was joking around, and I kept going. And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight. Last thing I told Nolan was, all right, buddy, I love you, see you later. I didn't get into that altercation. Maybe I would be able to do something. Maybe I would have saw something. Maybe I would have told Nolan, hey, man, you're not going with that girl. Just come back with us. We're going back a little bit later. That my buddy in the photo was his lover. That was wild. That's been the utmost craziest because it's like, what? Like, where'd you get that from? I mean, also the lies of just how racist Mississippi is, or how racist the coast is, in Ocean Springs, and yeah, no, you don't know this, man. Like, you have no idea. And what I thought was crazy a lot from the beginning was he's the only black person on the boat. He's the only black person in the island. No, not at all. Like, not once. Like, where'd you get this background information from?
How many people were on that island from your vantage point?
On the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Thousands? 13 miles? Like, I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of boats that are carrying minimum 4 to 8, 9 people. Like, I'm talking like on the lower end, and we're talking about smaller vessels here. Man, if I had to take a rough estimate in my area of the island that I was in, 400, 500 people easy. If I'm taking an actual estimate, about 400 to 500 people easy. In our group, in the group of, I would say, young adults that were in the group of Dolan Wells, 100, 150, 200 people.
So the idea that Nolan went out with 4 white boys and they took him to a deserted island and he was allegedly last seen with a girl and they just abandoned him. What do you say to that?
That's, no. From the time they left, including myself, and also when I left the island, I could have named 50 people I really trust behind the helm of the boat that Nolan knew, that he could go talk to. Even if he was left, there was tons and tons of people out there. There was 10 boats that camped out at Horn Island. I know a boat that didn't leave Horn Island until 8 o'clock that night. Nobody would have ever seen, take that back, nobody would have ever left somebody on Horn Island. That's a place that everybody loves to go and hang out. That's their peace. Nobody wants to see anybody out there, especially in the boating community, and I can speak for them now, like, genuinely, I grew up in it. That's absurd. It's absurd.
So can you help me understand the fight a little better? Because I interviewed Warren, who's your friend, and he had made mention that his brother was involved in the fight. So can you explain who actually started fighting, and were you fighting his brother, or were you fighting somebody else? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, and I can see now, especially, it's all been blown out of proportion, but so originally, I'll go back a couple steps. Me and my girlfriend, I wouldn't even call it an argument. She was upset that I lost the lid to her koozie. I dropped it in the water. Generally speaking, that's how it started. And I dropped her lid, her new koozie in the water, and so she started.
I don't know if I believe this.
Let me hear it, and basically told me I was paying for it, and she was really upset with me and mad about it, and I needed to kind of sober up a little bit. And so we're walking back, and during that time, this guy that I'm not friends with, I know of him. I don't know him. I didn't even recognize him when I got in an original fight. He butted himself into my conversation and basically was telling me how I needed to handle or address the situation with my girlfriend. And man, we weren't.
This whole interview was about race. His problem with the black community. Him claiming that the black community was threatening him. As well as him talking about Nolan and the town that they're from, and everybody is a close unit. And he also tried to say that Nolan's mother did know him, and it was furthest from the truth that she did not know him. So I don't know what to think, why he bring that up or say that, because I feel like maybe she really didn't know him, or maybe she met him once and that was it. But there was no real answers of anything or what they assumed happened to Nolan, and I'm just ready for the truth to come out and the autopsy results. So if you've seen this video, let me know what you think about it. Of course, he's talking to Officer Ruckus Tatum, the race baiter, the black man that the supremacists love and adore. because, like, look at him. He's one of them talking about them. He's saying what we feel. And I'm just ready for the truth to come out.
And Nolan calls me at 11 o'clock. I missed his phone call. Called me twice. I missed both of them. I saw Wyatt and Nolan on the boat. They pulled right in front of our boat, and they were screaming. I turned my head, and I was like, yo, there's a spot over there, where they end up anchoring out. I helped them set their stern anchor. From the time they showed up until now, going back to it, 20 minutes before they left, I was with them. That's who I was with. I spent all day with them, minus the morning time before we met. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him, us joking around, and I kept going. And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight. The last thing I told Nolan was, all right, buddy, I love you, see you later. And I'm glad I said it. I had been under the influence a little bit, and that's probably why I did say it at the time, just, getting all lovey-dovey, but I'm at peace I said it. I'm glad I said it.
All right, so I have a question. Did anyone notice where he spilled us the tea? Did anyone notice where he spilled the tea? I want y'all to pay attention. He literally just told us that Nolan got on the darn boat. He literally said that he was walking in the opposite. He said Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat, and he was walking in the opposite direction to their boat. And he dapped Nolan up and told him, I love you, bro. So he said Nolan was walking towards the boat, so Nolan got on that boat. He got on that boat. Listen to it. I'm gonna roll it back because it was the last thing he said. He said Nolan was walking towards the boat, walking towards Wyatt's boat. Now, mind you, this contradicts what Warren said, because Warren said that Nolan was walking away from the boat. Basically, he said he was cradling Katie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Warren say that Nolan was cradling Katie and walking through the water with her? Okay, please pay attention. And how you already know that they're lying anyway is because Warren also said, and I told you this yesterday, that he saw Nolan for the last time. The last time he laid eyes on Nolan was at 3:00 p.m. But they didn't leave the island until 4:30. And he also said that his friend kept saying, Nolan, get on the effing boat. Get on the effing boat. And he's like, no, I'm going to stay with her. And he was cradling Katie. Okay, so that had to have been at 4:30 because that's when they said they left. So how did you last see him at 3:00? But y'all were sitting there calling him to get on the boat at 4:30. And now this dude sits here and tells us, inadvertently, mind you, that Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. Let's listen to it again.
And they were screaming. I turned my head, and I was like, yo, there's a spot over there, where they end up anchoring out. I helped them set their stern anchor. From the time they showed up until
when do you
now,
think my smell will go out?
Going back to it, 20 minutes before they left, I was with them. That's who I was with. I spent all day with them, minus the morning time before we met. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people.
He said this
Nolan
was before the
walking
fight.
towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him, us joking around, and I kept going. And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight. The last thing I told Nolan was, all right, buddy, I love you, see you later. And I'm glad I said it. I had been under the influence a little bit, and that's probably why I did say it at the time, just, getting all lovey-dovey, but I'm at peace I said it. I'm glad I said it.
Let me tell y'all something. I have several questions because you know what I think? I think that dude right there, Tracestin, I think he had a crush on Nolan. I think this dude had a whole crush on Nolan, and I'm going to tell you why. It literally just dawned on me. Because first of all, he's sitting there acting like he was, best friends with Nolan, which I absolutely don't believe. Second of all, he said he would cry to Nolan, okay, late at night about his girlfriend. Third of all, he literally just said that he was getting all lovey-dovey. Who in the hell says that about another man? Who says that about another man? You was getting lovey-dovey because you told him you loved him? Listen, guys can tell each other they love him. I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But why would you say those words? Lovey-dovey. That's what you do with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife or your husband, your significant other. But hold on. He also said that one of the things that people are saying is that Nolan and his friend in the picture were lovers. Who said that? I never heard anybody say that. Where did that come from? Okay, where did that come from? Make it all make sense. Make it all make sense, okay? So that's all crazy.
Wow.
Hold on. He looks like a fun boy. I think he had a crush on Nolan. That's right. Trisha said, or your old lady. Exactly. Carl Trey said, Charleston White said it, Queen. Charleston White said the same thing. This is all nefarious. Naturally, A9 said he's painting a picture. Hold on. This chat's moving so fast. Said he's painting a picture, spreading lies and shaping narratives. Absolutely. Indigenous Voyager says he was definitely obsessed with Nolan Wells. I believe he was. And now Relly said Charleston White said that too. Okay, so I'm not the only one that thinks it. Yeah, I think he was sweet on Nolan. That's absolutely what I think. I think that he was sweet on Nolan, but hold on. What happened? Somebody's supposed to be okay. Lounge.
Hey, welcome. Welcome. Happy Sunday, y'all. How
How
you
you
doing,
doing?
Queen?
I'm
Good. How
doing
are
good. How are
you?
you doing? I'm doing
Good,
good.
good.
So hold on. Now here's the thing. What do you think about all of this? Because after we heard the audio yesterday, right?
Uh-huh.
And so now we know that there was nothing wrong with that boat. Because had there been
Uh-huh.
something really wrong with the bilge pump, the boat would have been absolutely filling with water. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It would have
Mm-hmm.
absolutely been filling with water. Hold on for 1 second. Truth Brown, you said you're here, but it says your devices are not connected, beloved. What's going on? Connect your devices. It says you need to connect your mic and your cam before you can be added to the stream. You don't have to turn on your camera, but you have to have your mic on. It's showing your devices are not connected. So you might want to go out and come back in. Okay, then I'll let you up. Okay, so now what do you think about all this, beloved? Like, what do you think about what you heard in the background yesterday, but also what do you think about them calling the Coast Guard? Okay, I mean, not calling the Coast Guard, but calling for a tow and then denying for the Coast Guard to come.
Yeah, I think it was very suspicious to me because when you're out there, because I've been out there in Miami in the middle of the ocean and got in an accident and flipped our what's it called, the little jet skis. So I was screaming for help in the middle of the ocean in Miami when I got in an accident. So there was nobody screaming like like when you're in the middle of the ocean and you're sinking, people are gonna be yelling, help, help. He was acting like he was high, he was drunk, and also he acted like he was like slow to answering her question. To me, that was like he's on some type of drug to me, the way his responses were. And then he was also evading the question. I don't know if you guys noticed, but remember the lady, the 911 call, the 911 operator kept on asking how many people are on the boat.
And then he was like avoiding the question, and then I think he said like 7 or so or ish or something like that. That was like kind of like really suspicious to me. But when she asked also, do you need the Coast Guard to come out? He said no. So I'm like, why are you calling 911 if you don't need the Coast Guard? That is the whole purpose in calling 911 when you're out in the middle of the ocean and your boat is taking on water and you're having these issues out, out in the middle of nowhere while you're in was it Horn Island. So that was suspicious to me because yes, I need the helicopters, I need a boat tow, I call everybody. But when he said no, that was very suspicious to me. And then I heard somebody in the background, calling Warren's name. Now I don't know, like you said, I think you said you don't know who the actual person was. I thought it was Warren, but maybe I may be wrong. Maybe it was somebody else. But like I said, whoever it was very suspicious to me that when she asked, do you need the Coast Guard? He said no. It's like getting a bad accident or an accident, and then you call 911, and then they're like, well, do you need an ambulance, or do you need the fire department? And then you tell them no. It's like, why? What was the purpose in you calling 911 then? It just didn't make any sense to me. And then on the flip side to that, I think it was it Tracestin that Officer Tatum did an interview on yesterday. It seems to me that these boys are trying to place themselves in Nolan Wells' realm of being best friends. And me personally, as a mother, and I'm like really very motherly. I'm sure, like you too. You have your 2 boys. When you are a mother and you're tending to your kid, raising them and stuff like that, you know who your kids' best friends are. Now, kids have a lot of friends, but you got friends, you got best friends, you got close friends. A mother is going to know who the best friend is, especially if they're best friends since what, middle school, elementary school? You've been knowing him all these years and you're calling yourself a best friend. But they said that Nolan's mom says, I don't know who you are. And then it's like they're trying to drag her for that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think she knew who he was, because here's the thing that you need to pay attention to. Now I want you all to listen to this, because Tracestin tried to insinuate and imply that Nolan's mother was lying when she said she didn't know him, right? But she doesn't know him. And here's how you know she doesn't know him. Because he never once admitted to meeting her. He said, I parked my car and listen to this. He said, I parked my car at their house plenty of times. He said that Nolan called me. We would talk on the phone late at night. He said, I went places with Nolan. That does not mean you know his mother.
Exactly.
He could have been an associate as far as Nolan was concerned. You know what I'm saying? And then here's the thing too. Here's the thing too. The fact that Warren already said, I'm going to tell you all, listen, everybody listen to me. This is a revelation. Okay, this is a revelation. I want you all to pay attention, because the more they talk, like I said, we can piece things together. Okay, we can piece things together.
Exactly.
So Warren said that he had to call who to get Miss Christine Wansley's number. Who did Warren say he had to call, y'all? He said he had to call Javon, right? Warren said I had to call my buddy Javon, or he said I had to call Javon to get Miss Christine's number. Guess what that lets you know? That lets you know that the real best friend of Nolan Wells was Javon Williams, because that's the one who had the mother's number. Warren wasn't his best friend. If he was, he would have had the number. My best friend has all the numbers to get in touch with somebody if something happens to me or they can't find me or whatever, and vice versa. So with that all being said, Warren was not the best friend, so why would he lie? Tracestin was not the best friend. Okay? Because neither one of y'all, because here's the thing. And how you know Tracestin didn't have the number? Because Warren and Tracestin are good friends. Warren doesn't really care for Javon, and you can tell that because he kept throwing Javon under the bus, saying, I'm the one that called Miss Christine. Javon didn't call her, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but they've been constantly trying to point the finger at Javon. So with that all being said, if Tracestin had Miss Christine's number, don't you think Warren would have called him to get the number? What
Yep.
he didn't call Tracestin, he called Javon. So that proves
Yep.
it right there. Javon's the best friend, and those other two are lying pieces of you know what. And they
Yeah.
absolutely did something nefarious to him, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, they absolutely
Absolutely.
did.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you paid attention, because remember when we were speaking yesterday, we were talking about, like, listening, because there's so much stuff out there in these videos. It's like you listen to it and then you kind of miss something because you're like either over listening or like trying to really listen and then you miss. But I just, the video that you just played with Tracestin from yesterday with Officer Bum Bum the ninja that stole Christmas. But anyway, um he said that something about a fight. Did you hear that? Did you catch that?
Yes, I did. He was
Yeah, so
saying that
I'm
he
like,
got
a
into a
fight.
fight about his girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, okay, there's more to it. And then he said, oh, I believe he said, if I heard him right, he was drunk. Like, they're telling on themselves they were drunk. And also from that phone call, they was also on some type of substance, some type of drug. So who was providing this to them if they were underage? So there's a whole
Exactly.
lot of questions that is needing to be
Exactly.
answered. And I'm like, and then Traston's interview too yesterday. Do you see him? First of all, I'm sorry. I'm OCD. He comes up on the platform with dirty clothes. There's no way I'm interviewing anybody that has dirty clothes on. If you come in for work or whatever, please bring a change of clothes. I'm sorry, but he was there with them dirty clothes on. I kind of made a short, and it kind of went
Right.
viral on him. I was like, why is he wearing them dirty clothes? Is he running from the police? But anyway, he was there with his hands folded. You see, like, who is interviewing with their arms folded? Was he so nervous that he wasn't, was gonna say something that he wasn't supposed to say? Like, trying to. I mean, he seemed like very nervous. Like, to me, both of those interviews are just so suspicious, and it's also good for Ben Crump because they were telling the drunk, the drunk word. Yeah, we was drunk. I was drunk. Nolan was drunk. All of them saying that, that they were drunk or Nolan was drunk. It's like, who is providing this alcohol and substances? Because I'm just
Exactly.
gonna say alleged substances, but y'all were saying that y'all were drunk. Nolan was drunk. That was coming out of their mouth. So yeah, where did you get the stuff? I mean, the alcohol, and that's something. Of course, Ben Crump is, of course, gonna investigate. I'm more than sure. But the more that Tatum Batum goes and interviews these boys, it's just more evidence and more help for Ben Crump to investigate this. All Nolan's parents is wanting, all of us, is what happened to Nolan. And they're just acting
Right.
really, really crazy and suspicious, walking on eggshells, like doing the most to try to cover this up. But it's not going to
Oh,
happen.
beloved, hold on. Hold on one
Mhm.
second. Hold on. Okay,
Okay.
Tess says, put this in the YouTube search. Nolan Wells. Audio proves he returned to the boat. He's dead. Nolan. This YouTuber uses only facts and broke the case wide open. Beloved, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but baby, I broke that case wide open yesterday morning. How many times do I have to say it? And I just looked up this
Uh-huh.
video and it says, no, I'm talking to the person that posted this. The person that posted this video, they posted it 23 hours ago. I posted it over 24 hours ago. Let's go to the timestamps, okay? Let's go to the timestamps. Let's go to the timestamps. And we only use receipts over here too. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Hold on.
All right.
Now let me show you when I did this video. Okay, because some of y'all didn't see it. Okay, and y'all about to get on my last nerve. You see that? Hold on, let me remove your comment. Now, can you see that? Can you see that, the lounge?
Yeah, I can see it. It
This is my
says,
video from yesterday. What's the
oh,
timestamp?
let me see. Let me scoot it over. Let
It
me
says
scoot it
one
over.
day
Hold
ago. It says
on.
1 day ago, if you can see it.
Yep, 1 day ago. Yep, 39K views streamed 1 day ago. Yep,
Okay,
seen
and
it.
the title of the video says, Proof Nolan died on the boat with Warren. Check his
Mhm.
chest heard on audio. Evidence
Mhm.
sealed. And I talked about ALIBI Wells. And the thumbnail said, no, wake the F up. I'm sorry, beloved, but I
Mhm.
broke that story, boo-boo. Okay, y'all got
Yeah,
to learn to give me my credit, honey, because the other person
I
that
know
you
that's
talking
right.
about, let's pull up their video. Lounge, you can keep talking. I'm trying to figure out why Truth Brown isn't up here yet.
Uh huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this is all suspicious, but I don't know how many more interviews Tatum Batum is going to be. I'm more than sure he's probably going to drop another one today if he hasn't already. But it's just more like tea to be spilled on, what we want to hear to add to what, the pieces to the puzzle that we've got together so far. But this whole thing is really, really crazy, and they thought that they could do this, and then like kind of sweep it under the rug. But did you you were just speaking about this too, right? Before I had jumped on about the flag. I caught like the very tail end of it. I think you're talking
Yeah,
about the flag because Prize was
that's the
too.
pirate flag. Yeah, it's a pirate flag that they would put up as a warning. Hold on one second. Now, as you
Okay.
can see, beloved, test OR, whatever your name is, beloved, from Chronicle Speaks, Nolan Wells audio proves he returned to the boat. He's dead. Nolan, honey, this person probably got this from me. I hate to be the bearer of bad news because this is
Hmm.
23 hours ago and mine is over
Yeah.
24 hours ago. That's why it says one
Uh-huh.
day on the timestamp.
Starting
Okay,
route to
I broke the
45.
story. So if I tell you I broke a story, trust and believe I'm not lying. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, with that all being said, they're absolutely DJ Big Six said they all be lying. Yes, they all have been lying.
Yes.
And then trying to
Yes.
disparage
All
the
of them.
mother. And
Yes.
then trying to
Talking
disparage the
bad.
mother.
Yeah, talking bad about her, and I hate that because when you don't know something, you could probably say, well, I feel bad. I can imagine the feeling, but you don't know until you're really in that position. You know what I'm saying? So people are trying
Right.
to act like she's not mourning Nolan. We don't know what she's doing. Everybody mourns different. Some people will close themselves in. Some people will cry. Some people will be silent. Some people go on binges. So we don't know how she's mourning personally. We can only see from whatever is on social media. We don't know
Right.
what she's actually,
Hold on,
how
beloved.
she's mourning. Hmm.
Hold on. Let me say something real quick. Echo that media. No, we didn't both break it. Only one person breaks a story, and that's the first person that posted, okay? The only one person breaks a story, honey. It's no such thing as you both broke it or 10 people broke it. The first person that posts a story with the receipts is the person that broke it. Now sit down somewhere. I said what I said. Now continue.
Yeah, so you can't tell somebody that she's not mourning, she's not doing this. I really don't like that, and I hate the fact that they're attacking her, especially in Mississippi where they know it's known racism. These people are in cahoots just like they were in Georgia with the Aubrey case. They were like the judges knew each other, they were friends, high-fiving each other, doing all this, hiding the video footage, saying that what's the name, Aubrey was doing this and he was doing that, and it was of course all a lie. And when Ben Crump investigated that, I mean, all these lies started coming out to where it was like, I mean, it was crazy. They broke up their little circle, whatever they had going on, and all three of them boys got life in prison. So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's going to be the same thing because we don't know what proof and evidence, because people, when we go on, I vacation a lot, you go places a lot too. When you are out, people are taking just, shots of everything, just, showing people on the water. So I know somebody has reached out to Ben Crump, I'm more than sure, with some type of proof and evidence showing, Nolan, was there. He was, just the things that he was doing, the things that they seen and things that they have caught. So I believe it's like I said, it's going to be an Aubrey 2.0 because that area is too racist, and they all, are in a little cluster like they were in Georgia. So it's going to be
Right.
only a matter of time, when people are going to come out and start singing like songbirds if they have not already done so. So it's gonna happen. It's all gonna come out, and I believe, I truly believe Warren, I feel for some reason is like he's like the ringleader of this. Warren, you know, to me, and I'm still got, because there's so much, of course, content out there, but yeah, I just think for some reason Warren is like one of the ringleaders because he is the mother is the judge, and she even was saying stuff. So it's just a lot of red flags for me.
We have, yeah, definitely that. Hold on, let me read this comment. Sweet Feather says, peace and respect. Those phone calls to Cito and then to the other agency have been debunked. Those interviews with that podcast officer. If you don't sit down somewhere talking about they've been debunked, we literally heard the audio. What are you talking about? Debunked by who? Are you trying to insinuate that Cito is lying? That that's not the real dispatch audio? Are you really sitting up here telling us to take the word of Officer Rage Batum Tatum? They didn't debunk any damn thing. Just because they said something is not proof. Did they show you any receipts? Did Officer Tatum show you any receipts, beloved?
Nope.
No, he didn't. I mean, don't be
Nope.
that stupid that you'll sit here and believe this man who is a whole liar. Don't be so stupid and naive that you'll sit here and believe those two people that went on there for interviews when they were clearly lying. What are you talking about? It's been debunked. Are you trolling
Yep.
me right now? You have to be. You have to be damn
Yep.
trolling me right now. You cannot be serious. You cannot
Mhm.
be serious. I'm inclined to think you're a MAGA minion up here trolling and coming up here talking about peace and respect to try to act like you're down with us. Like, sit down
Yep.
somewhere. Don't ever come
Yep.
on here telling me that facts and receipts
Mhm.
that I showed were debunked by Humpty Dumpty shapes having Officer Tatum. Okay, please sit down somewhere. He didn't debunk anything. He didn't even say anything about the calls to Cito. Or
Yep.
yes, maybe he did, but I didn't hear him say anything that would even remotely debunk it, other than Warren and Tracestin sitting there telling lies. Are you serious right now? I don't know what's wrong with some people. We all heard the
Yeah.
audio. Everybody online has heard that audio by now. So we're supposed to act like the audio is fake. It literally came from the company. We heard the dispatcher talking to them. We heard what they said in the background. We heard him muting whoever the guy was that made the call. We heard him muting the phone because he realized that she was hearing the background noise. And how we know that he knew that is because she was asking specific questions to let us know. She was asking, is everyone on the boat breathing? Is there anybody breathing on the boat? Because he didn't want to tell her how many people were on the boat. He was acting stupid, trying to sit there and stall. And then when she asked him how much water is in the boat, he couldn't answer the question because there was no water on the boat, because the bilge pump was never broken. He was lying. It was their alibi. At the end of the day, that has not been debunked, honey. You have to bring some receipts to prove that. Not just telling me what Officer Tatum or one of his lying guests said on the show. Please make it all make sense. Okay, please make y'all know I'll go off in a minute, honey. Okay, especially when I'm serious about something and people come over here saying stupid stuff that doesn't even make sense to a fool. I'm sorry. That makes no sense. Now that's got to be some MAGA minion getting up here trying to flip the whole narrative. Because this is what they do. Remember, guys, I've told you all this before, specifically with the Carmelo Anthony case, that these MAGA minions, what they do is they get in our chats, they come in our lives, they get in the TikTok lives as well and do the same thing. They try to debunk our receipts. They try to act like we don't know what we're talking about, and then they try to spin the narrative, and they never have any proof. It's just what they say, because I'm white and I say so type BS. That's what that is. Like, sit down somewhere. Okay, I'm rocking Christ says some people just hate to be wrong or even be corrected. Don't come up in here and argue with the queen of receipts. Okay, thank you, beloved. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate it, because really, we already had the receipts. Sit down somewhere. So anyway, I was waiting for Truth Brown to come up here. Hold on, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call Truth on the phone and let her talk, because she said she had something she wanted to say. Okay, hold on for just a second.
All right.
No, it keep because they know the nefarious. They know I'm finna expose it.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, be careful of your words when you get up here. You know, you got to say raccoon, you know.
I just want you to bring back that picture with the ankle in.
Okay, I'll pull it up. Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on. I think I still have it in my emails.
You know the.
I know what you're talking about. The picture.
Before you put me back on there.
Okay.
Wait.
Huh?
The reason why that's like that. That's when they took him.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the picture first.
Now I'm gonna say allegedly what I'm saying, not what you say.
Okay. Hold on. Damn, do I have the picture?
The ankle with the ankle sitting out there.
With a picture on the boat. Right. Okay, hold on. I don't think I have it. I think I deleted it. Yeah, I think I deleted it. Okay, now go ahead and tell me what you were saying about that, though.
What I'm gonna say about that is this, Queen.
Can you all hear her? Hold on. Can you all hear what True
Yeah.
Brown is saying?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
y'all hear? Okay, go ahead. Okay, great. Go
Y'all
ahead.
can hear me? How y'all doing anyway? Let's get to the bottom of this. The picture that was shown with that ankle out. I want Queen to get back that audio of that lady saying ankle. The reason why she's saying ankle, she's not saying anchor. She said ankle because they saw it. And he was hanging out by the ankle.
Hold on. Who saw this? Who saw it?
Listen to the lady when they get the call, okay? She gonna tell whoever that is calling, she gonna say ankle out of nowhere.
She did?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
She gonna say ankle. Because his ankle was hanging out.
There's no way she could have seen his ankle. The truth. Hold on. There's no way she could have seen his ankle, beloved. She was on the phone.
Run it back, Queen.
What you mean run it back?
Run your audio back with the phone call when she say ankle.
I heard her. This is what I heard her say. Now I'm gonna bring it back up. But I'm gonna tell you like this. What I heard her say is she was asking him, she was asking him how much water was in the boat. And then no, because she was asking him, was it up to your ankles? That's what she was like. For example, think about it like this. She said, how much water is in the boat? And he was like, I don't know. We're sinking. And she said, but where's the water? Is it like to your ankles? That's what she said. She was asking him, was the water up to their ankles?
She was trying to measure how much water.
I'm in Mississippi, okay?
Right.
Here. Let me tell y'all something right now. What happened to Nolan is some allegedly. This ain't the Queen saying this. This me saying. This is the reason why I'm so passionate about the music. I'm here. What happened to Nolan was something like put in your mind like a hazing. Like a hazing.
Hold on. I just pulled up the picture. Hold on. You said like a hazing. Okay, I mean that
like a hazing that went terribly wrong.
Okay, that's what they're saying.
So look, it was a hazing, but then Queen, you know I already told you what they already said for real.
I know, but we don't have any proof of that, so I'm not gonna say it.
I ain't bringing that up. But what I'm saying is this: the brother was on that boat when they made that call.
Well, whose brother? Wyatt's brother or Warren's?
No, Nolan was on that boat when they made that call. Listen to
I know. We know that. Well, here's the thing. We know that.
No, listen, Miss Queen. You know how you brought that down to the point of this? What I'm trying to say. He was on the boat. That's why when the lady was calling, listen what I'm telling y'all about Mississippi Corporation. They all in this thing. They all knew the ritual on that day. Okay. They made that phone call because
it was an alibi.
But what I'm telling you, Miss Queen, is this. When they kept getting distracted in the background, they saying all this stuff. But what I'm telling y'all right now, they took him and that Beirut, that Fort Rouge thing, Fort Bayou, that is where the end time came.
Oh, okay. You talking about, hold on. You talking about that's why they went back to Fort Bayou twice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
They did that and then brought him back. They thought this out. This is what I'm telling y'all. It was more than them and some grown people behind the scene of that. And we know this in Mississippi. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm here. And what black people is saying and white people is like this. Now what we gonna do?
Okay, so the word
because now we know y'all did our little brother like that. You played over his body. That's why he ain't got no throat. That's why that thing in the back of his head. Cause y'all did it, man. It ain't got nothing to do with that damn boat. The boat, the only reason why he got back the way he was. Because they took him somewhere. They took him. And then when they come back, that second time is where they got him and put him where now everybody looking for him. We got to do something. That's what happened. Nolan, and like you said, Queen, I hate to say this to y'all. I love y'all Royals. I love the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all in Mississippi don't say nothing. Man, they gonna watch this. They gonna watch this.
Oh yeah, I already know that. I already know.
They gonna watch it.
Well,
it was a whole ritual. I'm telling y'all right now. You hear my voice. If y'all find out while we was all crying about Nolan the first week, they was in ceremony. They was already in the ceremony. That's why you don't got no emotion from Warren, because he knows.
I mean,
we call him Freddy Cougar for the sake of the channel. Freddy Cougar, as we call him. Freddy Cougar knows exactly what happened.
Okay, well, one thing about it is we don't have no way to prove any of this.
No, we don't, but I'm just saying, y'all, this so deep that we can't even imagine. It took that boy, and let me say it, Queen, I'm going to get off. The reason why they comparing it to Emmett Till, the reason why I made the song, is because he whistled at a white woman. Emmett Till whistled at a white woman and legs it. And guess what? Not Carmella, God be with you, Carmella, I got you. But Nolan Wells talked to a white woman, this damn mysterious ass Katie, that ain't can surface her ass up yet.
They said her cousin's missing too.
Okay, they said she was missing, but then now y'all talk to her and text her with the mama. Come on, make it make sense. You already bust that out.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, this a whole Emmett Till thing. They doing it for ritualistic. Look at the paperwork on it. That's why they got it, our energy so close to Emmett, because they know what they done, and they know they gonna get away with it. But they done that to that boy. And when you posted that picture on that boat, I was scared to send it to you on everything. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. That person in the ground that's crawling, don't be so suspicious, because I'm gonna tell you this, Queen. I sent it to you already. I was on a live where somebody said, y'all, that AI picture y'all think is AI, or that boy over standing over a black boy, they said that's Jax.
Who is Jax?
The boy that's on the boat right beside Nolan. That's the boy they went to his grandparents' house 2 times.
Okay.
They ain't talking about Jax for a reason. That's the person that Warren keeps saying is my buddy.
Wait a second. Is Jax the person that everybody's supposed to be so scared of because they say he turns into a demon?
That's Jax.
Okay, yeah, I heard somebody say that yesterday.
Yes, ma'am. That's Jax. That's the picture that they showing standing over somebody that look to be melanated. And they said it's Nolan. But at the end of the day, if you go look at Jax's picture and look at them blonde bangs in the front, that is definitely him. And so Warren them it was, like I said, it was a hazing thing. They all beat him. And while they were saying get up, they thought he was just knocked out. But they done took him out. They went too far.
So they went too far.
Wow. Wow.
They went too far. If you go look at that picture, I sent it to you, Queen, and you know I always go to the roots of our evil.
Yeah, I know.
You know I got to get better with the Queen.
Oh, no. That's okay. I checked. I got to start checking it more.
I'm saying, Queen, you know, you done already chin-checked me about misinformation. Baby.
Not that I chin-checked you. Sit down somewhere.
You chin-checked me, Queen. I had to get my shit together. But,
okay.
What I'm saying is they hazed him and they played too much. And what they need to do is say, look, it went too far. Because they were supposed to beat down the N-word on that day. I'm here. Okay?
Right.
That's what it was, because that's why all of us in my neighborhood was ready for them to play.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm serious. They did too much to Nolan. And all I want to say for people that's saying his family failed him, let me tell y'all something. You can't blame them for telling that boy not to see color, but I'm going to say this. Color saw him.
Yeah, that's facts.
Color saw him.
That's absolutely facts.
I agree.
Color saw him, so we got to get up out of that.
Right.
To hell with them for me. I can't stand them at work now. They know I'm on.
Yeah.
But my thing is the Queen, to pay attention. The reason why, that is a real picture that you got. And be careful with that. That's a real picture. That's when they took him to the bayou. And finished it off. What I told you in the beginning. That's what happened. And also might be, but we don't know. The reason why we can't explain that thing on the back of his head, think about it like this, and I'm going to go. Think about it like this. If I put you up there after I done dragged you, like this, put you up there and then cut it, and you're going to fall back on your head.
Oh, yeah. You talk about, yeah.
That kind of thunderous on the back.
You talk about like if he was hung and then they cut the rope?
They cut the rope.
Yeah, that would make sense.
They did him in, I'm telling y'all.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day,
and they gonna get away with it simply because all our authorities is wicked. They triple K in Mississippi. If you hear me right now, I know I didn't vote for the president because I couldn't do it, y'all. I'm sorry.
Well, listen, I'm gonna get off her because this live is getting too long. But here's the thing: we already know how it is down there. We know how it is.
We gotta get them folks out of there.
Yeah. Well, what's his name's not running again? It's over for him. Governor Reeves.
Probably over with because the chin, his chin is too big, Quinn.
I mean, he's
ain't too many. He ain't too many black folks alleged.
Okay, now I gotta go. Okay, thank you for that, beloved.
Love you.
All right, love you too. Bye. Okay, so y'all heard what Truth said. She told me that like a week ago. I didn't say anything because that's like something we can't prove. We can't prove that. We can think it. Now, here's the thing. I told you all from day one that it could have been a ritual because I showed you all the proof that they got all the active Klan down there. That's why I did that whole video. That was the purpose. I also showed you all that they have these rituals on July the 4th specifically, the Klan that is, these initiation rituals, and that they also would have had them on the 250th anniversary of this country, which was this past July the 4th, right? So that's not, that's not crazy to me. But that video of them doing something to that person, I don't know if that video is real or AI, but I do know it's not Nolan. That video is not Nolan. Now, they may have done a ritual on him. I wouldn't put it past them because, like I told you all, there are 7 active Klan groups down there in Mississippi. Okay, and what we do know, I just want to stick to what we can prove. Okay, that's what I told you all. I want to stick to what we can prove. Now, maybe some of this other stuff that's alleged, we can prove it later. But for right now, what we can prove is that he absolutely was on that damn boat and they're lying about it and they're lying for a reason. And it would only be that they did something to him. Okay, he was on that boat. We heard the audio. We know that they know that he was dead and they likely killed him. Okay. They likely killed him. According to that audio, that's my opinion. Let me just say for the record, allegedly. Okay, but that's what I believe. That's what I believe because we have heard enough. In the background of that audio, him sitting there muting it once he realized that she knew. Because I'm going to tell you, that lady knew something was going on because she said, asking about health. Is everyone there in good health? Why would you use that word? You know what I'm saying? She could have said, is everyone okay? Or whatever. Does anyone need assistance or whatever, medical assistance or whatever? Is everyone in good health? How many people on the boat are breathing?
Yeah, that was weird.
Terminology. And the fact that they also would not say how much water was in the boat let me know that there was no water in the boat because the boat was not taking on water. Now, quote 305 says, truth is right. These white boys haze here, they play entirely too much. I believe it. I absolutely believe it, beloved. I absolutely believe it. And thank you for your insight to the topic and your contribution. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. This is a darn shame. Listen, the bottom line is, are we going to get to the truth? I don't know, because this sounds like a serious cover-up. And then we got people in the chat, and I didn't even know anything about this. We got people in the chat saying that the judge, that the hotline calls for the sheriff's department or whatever, for people that have any information, that those calls are going to the judge. That's what a couple of people in the chat have said. Yeah,
and
they said
to the judge, meaning Warren's mother?
Warren's mother.
Wow, that's a conflict of interest.
Well, we already know that. We already know that, but that would include part of the cover up if that's true. Now, FBI
Yeah,
justice
yep.
says hazing, noose, hit to the back of the head could be. I mean, yeah, it absolutely sounds plausible, FBI justice. It literally does. Okay. Thank you for your insight and your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Well, I'll tell you what, we darn sure know that Nolan was on that boat, and we know that they lied and that they used their call to the tow company for a whole alibi. And I believe the grandfather, because that's who they called first, I believe they called him to let him know what happened to Nolan. And he likely told them to make that phone call to establish an alibi. And it just so happened, as luck would have it, that the data, the GPS data picked up that they were right there in that same location where his body ended up being a couple of days later. That's not a coincidence. See, they tried to hide, but then they ended up telling on themselves. And the good thing is they're still telling on themselves. They're still telling on themselves. Now, the only thing that concerns me about the fact that makes me think that there may not be justice is because they've already said that they're not releasing any information. All of the information and evidence is being sealed until it goes before a grand jury. We don't know what they're going to give a grand jury. I would imagine that because this is a whole cover up, in my opinion, that they're only going to give the grand jury minimal information to make it seem as though there's not enough evidence to indict anyone. I just don't believe there's going to be justice. Like this goes so deep. I mean, I really think that the Cajun Navy is involved. I think that the governor is involved. I think the sheriff is involved. I think the DA is involved. I think that judge is involved. I think the one of the fake friends whose parent is a lawyer is involved. I think that all of these town officials, all of these people down there, I believe that they're involved.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, many of these officials, I believe they're absolutely involved. And here's the thing, I don't think this is their first time at the rodeo. I think things like this have been going on.
Yep, exactly. Especially with the what is it called? The medical examiner coding other deaths like this as drowning. Yeah, so they all connected. Yeah, they all connected.
The fact that we have all this information about the Klan and the governor and all this racism is wrought with racism. Some lady, a lady said yesterday that they recently discovered another plantation or something down there in Mississippi somewhere. Like, it's just so much racism going on. Let me just tell you all something. At the end of the day, we may never know the full truth, but I hope and pray that we do. Okay, I hope and pray that we do. Now, someone said the father might be involved. Hold on. Truth Brown said, Queen, they're all in on it. Sound of Music said, your boat's sinking and you called your grandpa first, the uckery of it all. Exactly. Think about that. The boat is sinking and you're going to call your grandfather first. How does that even make sense? You definitely likely called your grandfather to help you, to tell you what to do. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that girl, Courtney Clenny, who killed her black boyfriend, her African boyfriend. And then before she called 911 after she stabbed him, she called her mother first. See,
yeah,
this is what they do.
remember that.
She called her mother first, and then it's just like the girl, Gloria Bambeau, the black girl who was found down there in McKinney, Texas, hung in the place where she lived, and her white roommate, he called his mother, and his mother flew in town to help him try to cover it all up, allegedly. So I'm just saying, we can't put anything past them. All I know for a fact is that they are lying. They're acting like they were all best friends with Nolan. They're acting like they care so much about Nolan. And then they're sitting there talking about he wanted to stay with Katie. He's walking with Katie back to the shore. But then we have Tracestin, who said that he was walking towards Wyatt's boat. He was walking towards Wyatt's boat. Now, somebody in the chat said that was after the fight. But here's the thing. Or that was before the fight. Did you all say that was before the fight when he was walking towards Wyatt's boat?
Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember him saying fight. I don't know if it was before or after. I didn't.
At the end of the day, yeah. Well, at the end of the day, either way, he was walking towards Wyatt's boat. Well, why was he walking towards the boat? You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe that he got on that boat and was on that boat when they made the call, just like we all heard. And they did something to him and then called to establish their alibi. Because there's no way in hell you're going to have a boat sinking with water up to the batteries. Now, the guy on the phone call would not say he wouldn't initially say how much water was in the boat. He said he didn't know. But Warren said to Tatum when he was talking to him, he said that the boat had water up to the battery. That's what he said. So if the water was all the way up to the battery and y'all didn't want the Coast Guard, like, make that make sense. Okay, and then Total Vision said with no emotions at all. Exactly. But they both said that they were crying when they found out about it. Tracestin said that he broke down. Warren said that he was crying. I just think that all these people are just lying. And they have all gotten together and said, you know what? We can't tell anybody what happened. We're going to take it to our graves or we're all going down. And that's just what it is, in my opinion. That's just what it is, in my opinion.
I agree. And those Warren and Tracestin showed no type of emotion for a friend that you've known since elementary, middle school, however long they said. Like you sitting there, I mean, not no like kind of choking up or anything like that. Like, this is your best friend and you're not like choked up about this. You're just like talking normal, like yeah, whatever. To me, that was just signs also. Yeah, if this is your best friend, you're gonna get choked up somewhere in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, and it hasn't even been that long ago. Now, Gouda says Warren was on the phone. No, that wasn't Warren on the phone because we could hear someone in the background. I wouldn't think that was Warren because, first of all, that didn't sound like Warren. We heard Warren's voice when he was on Tatum's show. That didn't sound like Warren at all. And not to mention, we heard someone in the background calling Warren. We literally heard someone calling Warren. Next audio clip, I definitely don't think that was. I'm sorry, go ahead. Hold on, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to the audio again. Hold on. Let's go to the audio. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, this is it right here.
Hey. Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir? It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like, we're going down now. All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir? I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that. All right. I know we have a membership, like, guaranteed. I don't have the tag on here. Unless you have a membership number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at? Reach me at 2. All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise? Yeah, everybody's on board. All right. Do you need the cars? The water coming up, sir?
Let me tell you all something. Let me stop it for a second and let me tell you all something. Now, did you all hear that? Did you all hear anything in the background? I want you all to pay attention because you remember I told you all days ago. You all remember I told you days ago that I thought it was a strange choice of words or an interesting. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Now, you all say you think that was Wyatt. Yeah, it would make sense that would be Wyatt's because it was Wyatt's grandfather's boat. It would make sense that would be Wyatt on the phone because that was his grandfather's boat. Now, we heard someone, Wayno says, God forbid one of mine. I don't give a F who don't like it. I will get answers. I know that's right.
Exactly.
Okay, I know that's right. So, at the end of the day, this is all just real crazy. Bottom line is they did something nefarious and it's trying to be covered up. Truth Brown said the grandpa is the Klan. Oh, I believe that. Honey, I believe that. Listen, I don't just believe the grandfather is the Klan, beloved. I believe the governor is the Klan, Governor Tate Reeves. I believe that Sheriff Ledbetter is the Klan. I believe that's how him and Tate Reeves are such good friends and know each other personally. And let me just tell you all something. At the end of the day, when people ask the question, why hasn't the Justice Department ever done anything about the Klan when they got rid of the new Black Panther Party for self-defense, or the Black Panther Party for self-defense? Well, the reason they haven't ever gotten rid of the Klan or disbanded them is the same reason you'll never see Superman and Clark Kent at the same time. That's what that is. So, honey, I absolutely believe that. Okay, Michael says the proof is in the audio. Nolan was with him, and they are questioning if Nolan was dead. Time for charges. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, exactly. This is all so sad. R.I.P. to Nolan. I hope and pray that they get justice, because at the end of the day, the way they're doing his mom, hold on, the way they're doing his mom is absolutely nefarious.
Yes, and I did you see I just seen this morning where somebody put up her picture on, I think, Google. I don't know if she has her own practice, but I think she's like a nurse practitioner or something. And they were writing all kind of bad reviews. Did you see that, Queen? Did
Hold
y'all see
on. Yeah,
that?
I just showed that. Yeah, I showed that on this live. Hold on.
Okay.
Phenomenal says it couldn't have been Wyatt on the phone, because Warren said he was driving Wyatt's boat and didn't want anything to happen to his buddy's boat, in my opinion. Well, here's the thing. If Wyatt wasn't on the boat, who called Wyatt's grandfather? And how did they have the information for the membership? Now, cut the bullshit. Wyman says, the bullshit, I'm sorry, says Warren called the Coast Guard. He said it in the interview. No. Here you're confused, beloved. Warren called the Coast Guard after he got home. He called the Coast Guard at 11 o'clock at night. When he talked, he said he called the Coast Guard after he talked to Nolan's mom. Nolan's mom said Warren talked to her at 11:07. So that means that Warren called the Coast Guard, beloved, after the facts. Okay? But we're not talking about the Coast Guard. We're talking about C-Tow. Because C-Tow asked them, did they want or need the Coast Guard? And they said no. They said no. So listen, at this point, I'm about to conclude this broadcast. That's right. Casey said grandpa canceled the tow. He sure did. The grandfather is the one who canceled the tow. It's the grandfather's boat. We know it's his boat because they gave us his name in the TMZ report, where they said that he allowed the police to come and search the boat and told them they could collect whatever evidence they needed. But I'm sure there was no evidence on it because they'd already scrubbed it or whatever. And I'm sure they didn't even bring any chemicals like luminol to try to see if there was any blood or other bodily fluids. Okay, I don't believe they did that at all. Now, with that being said, the grandfather canceled the tow. So here's the thing. That's how you know the bilge pump wasn't broken. Because if the grandfather canceled the tow, or if the bilge pump had actually been broken, I don't believe he would have canceled that tow, because, for one, the boat's going to sink. At some point, the boat's going to sink, okay? You can't just be going all these different places like they went. You know what I'm saying? With a broken bilge pump. That's what you can't do. Now, the boat will still be functional and you can still drive the boat. But what I'm saying is all those different places they went to, and it took all those different hours, because they claimed they left Horn Island at 4:31. We know that the last time they were in the boat was at 7:19 at least, when they were at the Fort Bayou boat launch. So, with that all being said, that's a 3-hour difference, almost 3 hours. So they could not have been driving that boat all that time with a broken bilge pump, and then you cancel the tow. The bilge pump was never broken. They just lied and used that for their whole alibi at the end of the day. And what Truth says is absolutely plausible, because like I said, we know about all the Klan activity down there. But with that all being said, I believe that they took him out on that boat. Michael said the proof is in the audio. I agree with that. I think the proof is in the audio. Wyatt was on the boat, probably busy doing whatever to Nolan. And I think that someone called Wyatt's name on the boat. Let's just finish playing this audio. Hold on. And then someone said, I don't have the full audio. Yes, I absolutely do have the full audio. I played the full audio like 2 or 3 days ago, before this enhanced version even came out. It's 8 minutes and something long. Choice of words. Okay. I felt the water was up. Hold on. Audio. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Gemini said, right, Queen, we have not mentioned lungs yet today. Oh, exactly. Okay, and this is how you know people just coming here trying to paint narratives. Chest. That's why she asked those questions. On that interview, Warren said he was worried where was Nolan, and you wasn't too worried. You wasn't too worried. You had his phone, so he couldn't use it. Exactly. Okay, he makes no sense. I blocked him already, Jerron, beloved. I sure did. I blocked him already. Okay, let's get into this audio, though. Here we go.
Hello?
Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir?
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership like guaranteed. I don't have the tag
unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need to, as far as the water coming up, sir?
Let me tell you all something. Let me stop it for a second and let me tell you all something. Now, did you all hear that? Did you all hear anything in the background? I want you all to pay attention because you remember I told you all days ago. You all remember I told you days ago that I thought it was a strange choice of words or an interesting choice of words. Okay, I'm going to skip past this.
North 3 degrees. But 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
Yeah, we do not have a VHF radio.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
So let me get this straight. Your boat is literally sinking, right? So your boat is sinking, and according to Warren, during the interview with Tatum, the water was up to the battery, okay? The water was up to the battery. But when she asked if they needed the Coast Guard, he said no. Who is in a sinking boat with water up to the battery? And I'm going to these next two audios.
The water coming up, sir. Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Okay, so listen, report. At the end of the day, like I said, we know that he was on the boat, period. Now, do you all want to listen to the full audio again? Somebody let me know. Do you all put a 1 in the chats if you all feel like I need to play the full audio again? Hold on. Tess
Yeah, I want to
says
hear
you
the
don't
full
need
audio
the full
because I only
audio,
heard
the
like
full audio recording before the 911 answers the phone. Hold on. Let me delete this real quick. The full audio recording before. Yeah, I do have the full audio. I'm pretty sure I do. Okay. One's in the chat if you all want me to play the full audio. Okay, let's get into it. Let me pull up my receipts. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, here we go. I didn't want to go to, I couldn't remember which video that I played it on. So I literally had to go through my emails because I deleted it and find the deleted audio. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen so we can listen to this again. Okay, I hope. Queen, do you have the boat transcript of the call and the transcript when the Coast Guard was called? No, I don't have a transcript. If you have it, you can send it to me, but I don't have the transcript. I just have the audio, beloved.
Connect you.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down there.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir?
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkinson. I think it's Jerry Atkinson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag
unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm available.
North 30 degrees. But 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
No, we do not have the VHF radio.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor, or Fort Bayou Launch.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
No, there's no children.
Hold on, let me stop for a second. Now, Lady Sunshine says, are these recordings real? I'm hearing other people say they're AI generated. Honey, that's nobody but lying mega millions, okay? That's lying mega millions. If these recordings were not real, first of all, it was released by TMZ. Do you think Harvey Levin wants to get sued? Okay, I mean, that's the only reason I even played it yesterday, because TMZ released it. Okay, so yeah, this is the actual call, beloved. Okay, if it was not, I'm sure Cito would have come out and said something about it. Or when Warren and Tracestin were interviewed by Tatum, they could have clearly said something, or somebody could have said something by now. These are authentic.
So, is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question. Hello, can you hear me?
Try to jump in and pull the plug, Bart, while you're going.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain.
Okay.
How many adults on board?
There are 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hello?
Is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat.
All right, how many people, sir?
Like 7.
All right, thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
All right, verify what boat's sinking.
A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
All right. All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee for service come up under Jerry.
Okay.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking, and he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So
Right.
he said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And he said that Jerry. Yeah, he said,
okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So
Oh,
I'm guessing that they may have figured it out because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic. He's saying the bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, you know, I get it. It's a kid. He just doesn't understand.
Oh, okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And again, I couldn't find, he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, you know, membership. So it's just under Jerry fee for service.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to, if you want to, I mean, we're so tied up right now. We can't really do any non-member jobs right now.
Is Jerry a member? Did you find out if he was a member or not?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But yeah, transfer the kid over. I'll talk to him, and then I'll call his grandpa back as well.
All right. And did you want me to look up Jerry's membership number or anything like that to see if he's up? I know you guys are.
You can try this cell phone number.
Yes, sir.
Anything on this phone number.
All right. Yep. Jerry. Yeah, he's an active member. Hold on.
What kind of boat do you have on there? Same boat?
Yeah, he's one. Yeah, he's one of your members. Yep, 22-foot Triton. All right. I'll just disregard this one. I'm gonna send you over an accurate one under this Jerry Ackerson one. Okay, he's one of your members. You'll get in a couple minutes. Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, and yeah, just transfer this kid over whenever you get a chance.
All right, transfer him now. Thank you again, Captain.
All righty.
Stay safe out there. It's crazy. Have a drink.
Oh, it's wild. All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so what did you all hear anything different? Now there is a lady named the TikTok detective who says that she enhanced the audio even further. Okay, so I'm gonna go to her video and see what she says. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please. A like and share. The lounge, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I can drop you down if you need me to, honey. I didn't mean to keep you up here this long.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay, let me share my screen. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance, beloveds. Here we go.
Quan is saying, listen to the 911 call again. On the 111 mark, you can hear in the background someone saying, no, wake up. Wyatt, check his chest.
Hold on. Okay, someone says, hold on. Someone said, I need to get the part where they're talking before the dispatch starts. I thought that was the one where they were talking before the dispatch started. They said something about he's going to die. Didn't they say that before the dispatch started? I could have sworn I heard that. Somebody said he's going to die. Nolan's about to die or something like that. If there's anything that's said before that, I don't have it. If there's anything that was said prior to that, I don't have it. Now, if someone wants to send it to me, you can do that. QueenAhmadiyyah@gmail.com. But let's hear what this lady's talking about.
So I ran this through my editing program. And listen, I am not a pro at audio by all means, but I did try to enhance the background so we can hear more of what was said. I'm going to feature just the parts where you can hear people talking in the background. I want to be very clear. This is my interpretation of the enhanced audio in the background. It is not a confirmed transcript, so please take this with a grain of salt.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Hello? Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like, guaranteed.
All right. Unless you have a membership number. How many adults, sir? That was the question. All right. How many people, sir?
Like 7.
All right. Thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
Did you notice that he said 7 people were on the boat and then they counted and it was just 6? Now, another thing I noticed in the full audio, when the dispatcher called the captain of the Coast Guard, the captain said, I just talked to his grandpa and he said he doesn't need a tow.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island, and he's saying the boat is sinking.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And
Is it
he
Jerry?
said that Jerry. Yeah, he said,
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic.
My question is, why is the grandfather saying, no, they're fine. They don't need a tow?
I'm so glad she asked. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why the grandfather said they're fine, they don't need a tow. Because the grandfather is the one that told them to call the tow to establish an alibi. He knew there was nothing wrong with that darn boat. The bilge pump was not broken. It was not taken on water. That was just an alibi. That's why the grandfather called and said they don't need a tow. That's why right there. That's why right there. That's right, Sound of Music. You said it. Because otherwise, how would the grandfather know? How would the grandfather know? They were on the phone with the dispatcher. The grandfather, meanwhile, is calling the captain and saying, we don't know. No, they're okay. They're fine. Why would the grandfather say that when they're still on the phone with the dispatcher? Because the grandfather was lying too. He was in on it. They called the grandfather to find out what the hell they need to do because they done killed Nolan. Allegedly, of course. This is all speculation. But at the end of the day, that's exactly what I think. Now, what do y'all say about that? Because it sounds like to me, after they killed Nolan, they freaked out, got scared, didn't know what the hell to do. So they called the grandfather, because it's his boat, and then asked him, what should we do? He's dead on the boat. The grandfather thinks for a second and says, call Cito and tell him that your bilge pump is broken and the boat's taking on water and you need a tow. And so that's what they did. Meanwhile, the grandfather is calling the captain, said, no, that's okay. They don't need a tow. They're fine. How the hell would he know they're fine? He's not on the boat, and they're not even still on the phone with him because they're talking to the dispatcher. That's right. They panicked. So there it is right there. They absolutely killed him, in my opinion. I believe that they absolutely killed him and that he was dead on that darn boat, just like we said yesterday. And the grandfather established the alibi for them, just like I told y'all. Just like I told y'all, that was a whole alibi. There was never anything wrong with that darn boat. There was never nothing wrong with that boat. And then you hear them saying, just like that woman said, she heard exactly what I heard. Okay? Check his chest. No, wake the F up. Check his chest. Warren. Okay? This is all so crazy. And then somebody said on that last audio, let's go back to that real quick, just the first minute. So where we hear them say he's dying or something like that. Hold on. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. What more is said on the other audio that we're missing, beloveds? Because this is enough right here for me. All I know is he was dead on that darn boat, in my opinion.
To connect you.
Cito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're
Now, before that person picked up the phone, the Emerald City, beloved, then send me the part that I need to focus on, okay? Send me the part that I need to focus on if you have it, please. But we already know that we've heard them talking about that he's dead on that boat. Okay? Nolan's about to die. Now, that's the part that I played yesterday for you all, and I told you all that I couldn't vouch for that part because that was not on TMZ's audio. Remember I told you guys that? I said that part was not on TMZ's audio, so I don't know if it's real or not. This is all crazy. Somebody said Nolan's about to die. And then you hear them saying, check his chest. Is he dead? And calling Warren. This is all so nefarious, y'all. I just need to know how come there isn't any arrest. This is enough for probable cause. Like, how has no one been arrested? Let me just tell y'all something. If no one has been arrested after this right here, then these people are not going to be arrested. This is going to be a whole dog and pony show. The Real Talk says they were attempting to stage a fake alibi and time swap in case they needed it later. Absolutely. I absolutely agree, beloved. That's exactly what they were doing, establishing an alibi, period. And lying to boot. This is all so sad. CJP said that's the part of the audio right there. Yeah, I mean, that's enough. Mr. Elevation said TMZ probably kept that part out. I mean, when they said Nolan's about to die, Wyatt check his chest, and then they called Warren's name, so we know Warren and Wyatt were on that boat. And then somebody said that Wyatt pulled his boat up next to them. No, absolutely not. That was Wyatt's boat right there, his grandfather's boat. Anyway, let me just tell y'all something. This is just getting really, really, really annoying because with all this information, hold on. The Emerald City says there's new enhanced audio that's longer that was released this morning. There's more than that? Are you serious? Hold on. Let me look for it real quick. Y'all, this is making my head hurt. Hold on. We got to get all of the evidence, beloveds. Hold on. You said new audio released this morning. Okay, well, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. God dang it, my phone just died. I was trying to look it up. Hold on. The Lounge. Where'd she go? Hold on. Let me look real quick, you guys. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. Check his chest is later in the call. Right. We heard that on the audio from yesterday. All I know is these people are nefarious. At the end of the day, I mean, this is all so crazy. This had to have been the plan all along. This had to have been the plan all along. Hold on. If anyone has that new enhanced audio, please send it to me. I'm looking for it right now. I may have to find it and then come back later. Hold on, let me see something here. Let me see what we got here. Okay, there's several. Let me see which one of these is it. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, listen, I'm going to keep looking for that. But in the meantime, let me go to this video I meant to show you all. If you all remember, there was a young man who came out. Excuse me, there was a young man who came out and he was talking about he had some information he was going to leak. If you all remember that, put a one in the chat. If you all remember what I'm talking about, please put a one in the chat. There was a young white guy who came out and he said that if they didn't do the right thing, he's going to start leaking information. Do you all remember that? Now, with that being said, I told you all that he was clout chasing clearly, and I didn't believe that he knew a darn thing. Okay? Hold on. Kay the Goddess said, Queen, thank you for all of the work you do to bring truth to light. I love the consistency of your channel. Hashtag justice for Nolan. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate your kind words and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, hold on. Queen, what's your email? I saw the clip with the audio. Okay, great. Okay, Sugar Freemers, here it is right here. I'm typing it in the chat. It's Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur. Hold on, let me put it in here. At gmail.com, beloved. Okay, I just dropped it in the chat. Okay, so now let's go to this video because that guy that I told you all about, people were saying this guy's going to leak information. I said, this dude doesn't know any damn thing. He's just pulling our leg and trying to clout chase and likely doesn't know anything. So guess what? Now he's come out and here's what he has to say. Please pay attention. This is what I say. There's so many people trying to muddy the water. Okay, there's so many people trying to muddy the water. We just have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be putting out false information and fake receipts. Hold on for a second. Let me share my screen so y'all can hear what this knucklehead has to say. I knew he was full of BS, and people were believing him too.
It's time to clear the air on a few things. Number one, no, my videos have not been about this Nolan person. I ran with it, and I'm going to explain why. No, it was not for views. No, it was not for clicks. It was a social experiment. Number one, my video was real, where I said, there's some people that need to make some things right, or I'm going to leak some things. Gave no other context to it. Gave no names, no businesses, no scenario of what it could be about. Yet people were in the comment section assuming I had something to do with taking the life of this Nolan Wells person, or had information that could lead to an arrest. With no context given, you guys got into a comment section off of some random Joe's video and assumed where his name was never given, no kind of similar scenario was given to this person, and you guys ran with it. Even after multiple times I put in the comment section, this has nothing to do with it. Yet you guys chose to ignore those comments and replies that I gave. So I decided to continue on with the videos and still gave no context, gave no names, never mentioned this person, and you guys still continued to believe that this had something to do with this Nolan person. This right here is a teaching moment for people in social media. You guys will see something on TikTok and believe it to be true, or believe to whatever you have made up into your head that this video could be about to be true. Because of social media and your major news outlets, you believe you can never be wrong. Now, with the fact that you are so wrong in this case, in which I have never met nor seen or even heard of what happened to this Nolan person in my entire life. So being that you're that wrong on this, me having some connection to it, you should probably reassess what you actually know about the situation. I haven't even looked into it, but I'm just saying, this situation and any other that you believe that you have all of the answers to it, you don't. Now, being that I still know nothing about the situation, I did. All right, I guess it's time to clear the air on a few.
Okay, so he was clearly clout chasing, just like I said, okay? And he's acting like he didn't know anything about Nolan's story. Of course he did. That's why he made that video. He didn't just randomly make that video when this story's trended. He deliberately did that, talking about a social experiment. See, that's what I'm talking about. You have people like that clout chasing. That's why I keep telling y'all, I want to be very careful. I do not want to be misrepresenting the facts. I do not want to be painting false narratives or any of that. And I darn sure do not want to put out fake receipts. That's why before I played that audio yesterday, I made sure that it was legit. When I saw that it came from TMZ, I know that Harvey Levin is not going to get any fake news, because he, first of all, gets his information, stuff like that. He has connections to the police, lawyers, and all of this stuff. He's a lawyer himself. Okay, so Schnickers says, ma'am, you are doing great work for Nolan and his family. God bless you and your family. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate your kind words. Peace, love, and blessings. I need all all the blessings I can get, beloved. Okay. And just so you all know, let me tell you all something. I may tend to get a little erratic about this stuff sometimes and very, just very anxious. I am an empath. And this stuff takes a toll on me. For those of you who have been following me since 2020, you know that at one point, I told you I had to take a break from reporting on these stories with the police brutality and the Black people being killed just over racist, ignorant reasons and no justice and all of that. I literally had to take a break because it takes a toll on me. Okay, I absorb all of this stuff. Sometimes I can't sleep. Schnickers, thank you for your kind words, beloved, and your contribution. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, B182 says, I believe they were going to intentionally sink the boat once Nolan passed away. Well, the only reason I would say I wouldn't think they would do that is because how would they get back to shore? And how would they be safe if they sunk the boat? But also, if the boat was sunk and then Nolan's body was found, I think that would definitely put them at the scene of the crime, which inadvertently, ironically, they placed themselves at the scene of the crime anyway. When we think about it, the boat and the phone call were right there in the same vicinity where Nolan's body washed up 2 days later. So thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and I appreciate you, and thank you for your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so I think that I have that audio. I think someone sent it to me. I just heard a chirp. Hold on. Okay, so Raj, thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Here it is right here, the audio. Okay, so let me pull this up. Now let's see what we're cooking with. Let me see here. Okay, likes up, everyone, please. A like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, I'm going to use an overlay because this is someone's video and I don't have permission to use it. Okay, so let's get into it. Now I'm going to turn the volume all the way up to make sure we hear everything.
Cecil Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're
Okay, now hold on. Isn't that the same audio that we just listened to?
Yeah, it sounded like it.
That's the same exact audio. That's literally what I just played, beloved. That's literally what I just played. Where before the dispatcher starts speaking, we hear someone say, Nolan is about to die. That's the same audio right there. That's what I'm saying, because I looked all over and I don't see another audio. Yeah, I don't see another audio. Hold on, hold on. Let me see something. Yeah, that's the same exact audio right there. Because we literally just heard that. Hold on. This is so frustrating. The lounge, have you heard any audio other than the ones we've listened to already?
No, I only heard the one that you had. The one you just played, that's the only one I've heard.
I mean, I looked all over TikTok just now, and I don't hear anyone that starts with any more details than that.
Yeah, that's
like
the
I
only
said,
one.
I can look for it later. Okay, now here's the thing. Terry Hint says you're extremely passionate, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Listen, what was in the other audio that we're not hearing in this one? Sugar Freemer said, your work is phenomenal. I'll continue to support you, sister. Thank you, beloved. Y'all are so sweet and kind. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, Brian said, who are the dumb asses who believed him? Ha! Who believed who? Warren, Wyatt, or Tracestin? Who? Serenity said they didn't call at first because the boat was sinking. They didn't call at first because the boat was sinking. Yeah, the boat was never sinking, beloved. The boat was never sinking. There was nothing wrong with that boat, honey. If the boat had actually been sinking, like I told you all, we already saw the timeline. They drove that boat for hours. They could not have done that safely. They could not have done that safely if the boat was sinking. Okay, Lala Nick says, as an empath, we have to be careful, Queen. Take care of yourself. I know, beloved. Trust me, I learned my lesson when I got to New York for the Diddy trial. Okay, that's when I really realized how if I don't cover myself, then I take on all these, just can pick up all this nefarious energy, and it's just very taxing. Okay, now Michelle Jones said, Granddad called Captain personal phone at the same time, hoping the call would not be recorded. Granddad helping in the cover-up. Now, that's something I didn't think of. So you mean to tell me you think that the grandfather called at the same time, hoping the call wouldn't be recorded? He was trying to help. He was definitely trying to help in the cover up because, for one, like I said, why would he say they don't need any help? How would he even know that? You know what I'm saying? There's no way he could know that they no longer needed help. And they had not called him back. They were still on the phone with the dispatcher, so he absolutely is involved. All of these people need to be locked up. Every last one of them needs to be locked up. Okay? The grandfather included, and that judge as well. And I'm going to have to do some research on if why these calls are going to her, because that's real crazy. That's definitely a conflict of interest, and I wouldn't trust it at all. So that's basically, if this is true, that's giving them like the same, what's the word I want to use? That's like giving them the heads up on any information, so they can try to maneuver themselves around it or just discredit it or discount it. Okay, this is all crazy. So anyway, with that all being said, hold on, let me go to something here. I think someone sent me the transcripts. Hold on. Let's see here. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. We need to get to the bottom of it. Okay, here we go. So let's just go to but the transcripts is not going to tell us what was said in the background 9 times out of 10, is it? Let me see here. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, listen. I'm tired at this point. I have to do some more research. What I will say is this. I'm going to see if I can find more information. I'll see if I can get the transcripts. And then, somebody sent me what looks like the transcripts. I think that's exactly what this is. But anyway, it's not going to tell us what it says in the background. Okay? It's not going to tell us what it says in the background. Hold on. Let me read some of these comments. Soul Child says, if the tip calls go to any of those Mississippi officials, they aren't going to follow up. Crump should have a tip line. He does have a tip line, beloved. Yes, Crump does have a tip line. Okay, and it's also posted on Nolan's mother, Christine Wansley. It's actually posted on her Facebook. Okay, so he does have a tip line, and that's good. Because like I said, honey, if all the tips are going to them, there's no telling what is going to happen. Okay, but I'm sure it won't be anything good. All right. I think I need to call Crump. I think I may need to call Crump to see if he's heard this audio. That's what I think. Okay, so someone says, can you please put closed caption on? Well, I can do that, beloved, but here's the thing. The closed caption, is it going to show? It's not going to show us in the background. That's the thing. That's the thing. Someone said, hold on. Someone said Chronicle Speaks has the same video or the same audio, but it's more clear. Okay, so it's more clear than this. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see here then. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I don't want to keep listening to the same thing over and over, but if it's going to be more clear, let's see. Let me see here. Hold on, here we go. And then I'm going to tell you something else that I heard on TikTok. I heard that one of those boys on that boat had been arrested and also does that white stuff, okay, Coca-Cola, not the kind you drink, and that when they do this, they turn into a whole demon, and this is why everybody on that boat was afraid of them, and that everybody like does whatever they say, and that's likely the reason nobody said anything. Now, that's what somebody from Mississippi told me last night. Okay, now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I was told. They said one of the people on that boat had everybody in check because they're all scared of this person. This person has been to jail or been in trouble or whatever. What I didn't say jail, but they just said they had been in numerous, they had been in trouble numerous of times. Could have been in jail, I don't know. But at the end of the day, they basically said that everybody is afraid of them, and that's why no one was saying anything. And then also, they said that Javon does know that something happened to Nolan by their hands. He doesn't know exactly what happened, but he knows something happened and that he was threatened to go on TMZ. Now, this is all alleged and hearsay, but somebody from Mississippi told me last night, and it wasn't Truth Brown. I'm just letting y'all know. Don't blame it on her, but somebody said that they basically threatened Javon, and that's why he had to do that TMZ interview. Okay? So I absolutely believe that too. I absolutely do believe that. Okay, so let's get into it. Lights up, everyone. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Connect you.
CISO Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down there.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag
Unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right.
Hold on, I just paused it for a second. Let me say something. This is showing the background. This is showing what's in the background in the closed caption, because I just see it says check his chest, and it also said Wyatt's. Okay, so it does show the closed captions. I wish I had known that yesterday.
All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm available.
North 30 degrees. But 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, this doesn't sound any more clear than the video we already listened to. Does this sound more clear to anybody? Put a 1 in the chat. This literally sounds like the same exact video.
To me, it sounds like the same exact video. I don't hear no
Yeah, I
difference.
don't hear any. Yeah, it doesn't sound any more clear than the video I had, and it's not any different. This is the exact same video that I literally had. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I give up at this point. Bottom line is, we already know they did something to Nolan allegedly, because we've heard enough. We heard them saying all that stuff that lets us know that he was dead on the boat. Everything that we heard would imply that he was allegedly dead on that boat. Why is anybody saying check his chest? Why is somebody saying Nolan's about to die? Why is someone saying no, wake the F up? Why is someone calling Wyatt? So we already know what happened at this point. It really doesn't even matter if we hear any more audio. That's it right there. That's it right there. Okay, that's it right there. So this is all so sad at the end of the day. And let me tell y'all something, folks. Officer Tatum did a video. I want to say he did it either today or last night. I don't know. I saw it before I got on the live. And he said in the title, I didn't watch it, but I saw the title. It said something like Black folks are mad because I'm telling the truth, or I expose the truth. He didn't expose anything. All he did was have two liars come on there and tell lies, and he helped them to lie. And here's why I believe that he helped them to lie, allegedly, because here's the thing. He said on the interview with Warren, like at the end of it, or maybe it was on a different video, but he said something about that he talked to another person down there. Now, he didn't say Tracestin's name at the time, but he said he talked to another person down there, and he said that they basically showed him pictures, numerous pictures of where he was at Nolan's house. Believe that, because Tracestin didn't even say that himself. When we saw him on the interview last night, he didn't even say that himself. Okay, Queen Israel said all he did was expose lies. Exactly. Dim said Tatum is doing damage control for the Klan. Exactly. Absolutely, beloved. I absolutely agree. So disrespectful to the mother as well, says respiratory reminder. Exactly. Okay. I said Tatum's not from this land. Couldn't be. I absolutely agree. Okay. And FBA Justice said he's a white supremacist enabler. Facts. Okay, absolutely facts. Okay, and so that all being said, James said pattern recognition isn't racism. Well, no one said that it was, beloved. Anyway, with that all being said, D Major said Tatum throws tantrums for massa. Absolutely. That's a fact right there. Okay, B182 says they were going to sink the boat and Grandpa stopped them from intentionally sinking the boat. They were only 400 feet offshore, according to Warren. You think he stopped them from sinking the boat? See, here's the thing, beloved. Now, that could be plausible, I would guess. But here's the thing. How did he stop them from sinking the boat? He called the Coast Guard, or he called C-Tow, the captain, and simply said they didn't need a tow. He said they didn't need a tow. But why would they sink the boat, though? How is that going to help them? If they sink the boat, that's going to tie the boat to Nolan. When they find Nolan's body and the boat's out there sunk and nobody's on it, listen, beloved, I went to school for criminal justice, and if it's anything that I know about for sure, it is crime scene investigations. There's no way they would have sunk that boat, because that would have led a trail of breadcrumbs right back to them. First of all, the police and everybody else, the Coast Guard and everybody would have wanted to know, how did that boat end up out there sunk with nobody on it? Why is Nolan out there dead in the water, not far from where the boat was found? And then second of all, who was Nolan on the boat with? Because he wasn't steering the boat. So they would have had a whole bunch of questions, beloved. I get what you're saying, but that wouldn't be the case, I don't believe, because like I said, that would just lead so many questions back to them. The grandfather would have to give account to why his boat was out there, how it got sunk, why y'all didn't get a tow, why you didn't send for the Coast Guard. Y'all had phones. And now we got a dead body to boot? No, they would have been in more trouble than they're in right now. They would have been in way more trouble. Like I said, the bottom line was the only reason, beloved, that they called the tow company was to get an alibi. That has to be. It's the only thing that makes sense. And then the grandfather called him to cancel it because he never intended for them to get one in the first place. It was all a ruse. It was all a ruse. But we're all trying to piece it together. Listen, I don't want to discredit anybody's opinion, but that's just what I think. B182 said they messed up. They sure did. They messed up in more ways than one. Okay, they messed up in more ways than one. Cream and Cherry said, I heard that too, Queen. Okay, they messed up in more ways than one. LL said, I believe that too. Yeah, they definitely messed up because they've been running their mouths trying to cover up the dirt, trying to do damage control, and now they've slipped up and said too much, because nobody's going to convince me that he wasn't on that boat. And Tracestin, and I want you all to pay attention to something else that Tracestin said in that interview. Another thing that Tracestin said in that interview is he said, and I already told you all this, when he did the interview with ABC, where we just heard his voice, and when he did the interview with Rolling Stone, the one that was just an article, I told you all then that he's trying to help them. He's trying to cover for them. And Javon is too. And they're both going to end up being thrown under the bus. Okay. And they definitely tried to throw Javon under the bus. Warren specifically did. But here's what Tracestin said in that interview with Tatum. He said that he wanted to prove to his friends, when Tatum asked him why he came out and did the interviews or spoke on it or whatever, he said he wanted to show his friends that he had their back. He said, because we have each other's backs in Ocean Springs. We all stick together. We have each other's backs. You know what that said to me? That said to me that all these people down there are in on it. All of the people that are officials, that said to me that this is just my opinion. Mine was pure speculation. I can't prove any of it. But I believe that they absolutely are all in on it. Okay? And Tracestin, when he said that they all have each other's backs, we all stick together down here in Ocean Springs. We're a tight-knit community. That's what he said. And he considers himself one of them. But what was interesting to me about Tracestin is the fact that he kept saying things like the Black community. Basically, he was saying that we have, blackballed him, so to speak. He's like, aren't I supposed to be one of them? And I'm like, one of them? You know what I'm saying? So he's clearly a raccoon, just like Tatum, and that's why he went on there. He told Tatum how much he liked him and his podcast and all of that stuff. So all of these people are nothing more than some MAGA minions, and Tracestin wants to be down with them so bad, so he'll say anything as far as I'm concerned. He darn sure got up there and lied, talking about he's Nolan's best friend. You're not his best friend. Prove it, okay? Because his mother doesn't even know you like that. And then you didn't even have her phone number, clearly, because Warren wouldn't have called Javon if that were the case. So these people are all just lying. FBI Justice says you're right on that, Queen. That call was a timeline alibi. Exactly what I believe. Peasy said they were stalling, Queen. Yes, absolutely. They were stalling. And sitting there putting up their alibi. These devils are so dirty. B182 said that's part of the cover-up, in my opinion. Okay, it's no telling, beloved. I appreciate your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Thank you kindly. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, Fun Sahau or Funsa says, Queen, you're right. It was just an alibi, but that body was on the boat and they didn't want anyone coming to tow. Exactly. Exactly. That's why they did. And did you all remember how he sounded when they asked for the Coast Guard? No, we don't need the Coast Guard. What? Your boat's literally sinking. Your boat's sinking. So let's get this straight before I close out. Your boat is sinking. You don't know how much water the boat has taken on, and you don't need the Coast Guard. And there's about 6 or 7 people on there. And there's 6 or 7 people on there, and they can clearly hear someone in the background who must be in distress because you have people saying, no, wake the F up. Warren, check his chest. Then they're calling Wyatt and all this other stuff. So anyway, honey, I'm done. At the end of the day, they need to be locked the hell up. There needs to be arrest made ASAP. Okay, and the fact that no one's been arrested lets me further know that these people don't want justice. They just want to keep covering this up, period. Okay, the bridge says Crump's team and the feds know that the stuck in their pre-64 ways, good old boys done it. Orange ain't gonna go down with the midterms coming. Oh yeah. Well, we already know Trump's not gonna do anything, beloved. Okay. Crump's team and the feds know that the good old boys done it. I believe it too. And the feds, listen, I definitely think the feds know they did it. And that's why the feds are only down there, according to them, to do a probe into the alleged threats that they claim that these other people are getting. I want you all to think about something. And then I'm going to conclude this broadcast because I was supposed to be somewhere 2 hours ago. But here's the thing. Just think about the fact that the feds went down there and instead of investigating a murder, possible murder, a suspicious murder, or a suspicious drowning, whatever they want to deem it as, but the death, let's call it a suspicious death. The feds went down there and there is a suspicious death that's being investigated, and they're down there rather than trying to get justice or find out what happened to this young man who's now deceased. They're looking into threats on the people that have been accused of maybe having something to do with it. That tells us everything we need to know, beloveds. We just have to keep it real. That tells us everything we need to know. Sad fact of the matter. Okay, so with that all being said, listen, I'll be back later. I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your advice and comments in the chats, for sending me the audio or whatever, even though it sounded just like the one I already played. Okay? But thank you all for that. And listen, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Now, if you don't get notifications later when I come back, make sure you check the community tab or either check my X account because that's where I always post the links. Okay. Aqua Girl Rising said that's what they get for getting those boys to talk. The door has been opened. Yeah, they didn't open up a whole nother can of worms. Okay, they've opened up a whole nother can of worms. And I'm going to tell you something too. When it came out that boat, when they made the call from that boat, that the position of the boat or the location of the boat was right in the vicinity where his body was found, Cito came out and started talking. Cito came out and started talking and basically saying, hey, we didn't tow that boat. Don't put us in this mess. That's basically what that was. Okay, that's basically what that was. Okay, Noma said stop yelling. Noma, sit down somewhere. I yell when I get excited. My bad. But don't tell me what to do. Okay, Nellon says, please, what about threats on the Wells family? Exactly, beloved. And what about them going on the website, lying on that lady about her job, trying to make her lose her job? You know what I think is going to happen? I think when this whole thing is over and the dust settles, I think, and I absolutely hope that Mrs. Wansley and her husband, that they get the hell up out of Ocean Springs. I don't think that place is safe for them to live anymore. I think that there's a whole lot of hate and racism that's going to be directed towards them, even in the aftermath of all of this, because these people have done nothing but seeking justice. And I'm sorry, but in the United States, or shall I say the divided snakes, the MAGA minions don't ever want Black people to get or even try to seek any justice. Okay? They will make your life hell if they feel like they can. And it's just too much going on down there in Ocean Springs as far as I'm concerned. So I really think that they need to pack up and just leave. I would absolutely leave. I would not feel comfortable staying there after all of this. And I wouldn't want to stay there anyway, knowing that devils that are so wicked, nefarious, and just low down, that they did this to them because their son passed away. They didn't show any empathy, sympathy, remorse, nothing. All they did was attack these people. That's all they have done, was attack these people. Now, Tina says they threw him in. They could have. If he was dead on that boat, I absolutely think they threw him in, beloved. Okay? How else did he get in that water? I absolutely believe that. I absolutely believe it. So anyway, with that all being said, listen, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Don't forget to tune in later, okay? And with that all being said, I will talk to you all again soon. The Lounge, thank you for coming up. Truth Brown, thank you for your insight into the topic. And I'll talk to you all again soon. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
4th of July. Fireworks in the sky. But the truth's still buried underground. Royal Oak. Yeah. They told me, wave the flag while the chains still clank. Told me praise the names on the blood-soaked banks. Told me freedom was born in the room full of men who wrote liberty down while they own human skins. So fuck your founding fathers and the myths they made. I don't pledge to the lie, I don't kneel to the page. You can light up the sky, I remember the smoke from the fields, from the ships, from the necks in the rope. You call it independence, I call it selective. You call it patriotic, I call it protective. Of the story so fragile it cracks when questioned. Truth knocks once and they call it aggression. Yeah. Red for the blood they spilled, white for the lies they told, blue for the bruises left on the bodies they sold. Don't ask me to celebrate what never included mine. I came with the receipts, I came to redraw the line. Fuck your founding fathers, I don't owe them praise. They built a nation on our backs, then told us smile through the pain. Fuck your founding fathers, let the fireworks cry. This ain't freedom for the people. If the truth still gotta hide, yeah, no justice, no peace, no lie gets crowned. We don't worship old ghosts when the roots scream loud. Fuck your founding fathers. On the 4th of July, I'm lighting up the truth while they light up the sky. They say, look how far we came. I say, look what it cost. Every courthouse got a shadow, every victory got lost. They gave statues to the takers, made heroes out of thieves. Put their faces on the money while the hungry couldn't breathe. Don't lecture me on freedom from a stolen land stage. Don't quote old documents with blood on the page. Don't tell me be grateful for a seat at the table when my people built the room and got treated unstable. You can't buy me through the truth, you can dress it in stars, but the anthem still echoes like chains behind bars. I don't hate the people, I hate the disguise. I hate when the guilty get praised as the wise. Red for the blood they spilled, white for the lies they told, blue for the bruises left on the bodies they sold. Don't ask me to celebrate what never included mine. I came with the receipts, I came to redraw the line. Fuck your founding fathers, I don't owe them praise. They built a nation on our backs, then told us smile through the pain. Fuck your founding fathers, let the fireworks cry. This ain't freedom for the people. If the truth still gotta hide, no justice, no peace, no lie gets crowned. We don't worship old ghosts when the roots scream loud. Fuck your founding fathers. On the 4th of July, I'm lighting up the truth while they light up the sky. Don't call it hate when the wound speaks back. Don't call it division when our name was fact. Don't call it progress while the system still bites. Don't call it freedom if we still gotta fight. I'm not here for comfort, I'm not here to pretend. I'm here for the children who deserve better than them. Better than myths, better than chains, better than flags used to cover up pain. So this one's for the ancestors who never got rest, for the names never written but who gave us their best, for the mothers who prayed, for the fathers who ran, for the babies born fighting in the stolen man's plan. This is not disrespect, this is correction. This is not rebellion, this is resurrection. You can keep your parade, I keep speaking the truth. I don't need permission to remember my roots. Royal oak in the soil, truth in the flame. If the crown came with silence, then I don't want the name. But if the crown means standing when the whole world falls, and I'm 10 toes down till the real story's told. Fuck your founding fathers, I don't owe them praise. They built a nation on our backs, then told us smile.